What's going on, everybody? This is Tim, and this is Carson, and that's 5'2" Manlet. We're back. We don't know what we're gonna call this. Tim wants to kind of get it back into things, so he might be joining as a permanent co-host, or he might go off and do cocaine and get too big for us. Who knows what's gonna happen?
I'm gonna be a co-host. For how long? Who knows? Who knows anything really? Indefinitely. I'm gonna be a co-host here.
But before we get on to everything, we have some Patreons I need to shout out. We got Dirty Dan, Vibing Cat, Aquahana Maru, Articuno, B-Rad the Man, Benjamin Richards, Brad Pittman, Brian Hahn, Caleb Roach, Clarence the Shark, Dalton Peterson, Dr. Dopey, Fat Lucky Potato, Game Changer Kid, Harry Hudson, Icy Storm, Jacob Waters, Jordan Boylan, Joseph Hamlin, Local Car Mechanic, OG Chief, Plague Doctor, Trent Weaver, Trust Upgrades, Zach Anderson, Zero Off Wine, and Zombie Hunter. Shout out to all the Patreons. Become a Patreon in the description. And that guy, too. He was good in The Hangover. It's a good movie.
I only watched the first one. I didn't watch any of the other ones.
Yeah, the other ones aren't that good. Only watched the first
one. I heard that.
So, Tim, what's new with you, buddy? What are your goals? What are you doing this year, bud? I feel like
this is like the
you've
first
said
day
you're
of
quitting
school.
zombies, and then you just continue to post zombies.
Well, I didn't say I was going to outright quit, but I did say I was going to gradually start slowing it down, which I have been dramatically. I am finishing up my analysis series, my game analysis series. I've done World at War, BO1, BO2. So I just got to do BO3, which I'm working on right now, and then BO4 and Cold War. So those 3 videos with like a miscellaneous video here and there, kind of like filler in between sort of deal, which I've been doing. So that's my plan for my current channel, Tim Hansen. And I was talking to Turbo yesterday on his podcast, actually, and he was talking to me. He's like, you shouldn't delete your channel. You should probably just continue whatever new content you want to do on your current one instead of just restarting, which I'm thinking about. There's a lot of different possibilities. Like, one possibility is to do that. One possibility is to start a new channel, kind of a fresh start with, because, you know, monetization, and I've been age restricted a dozen times thanks to someone here.
Yeah, I don't know who that could be.
I'm
probably
culpable,
Lex.
though. I'm very culpable. I enable it, frankly. So anyways, it would be a really good fresh start to be able to start a new channel, and then also potentially maybe just use my current one as like a gaming channel, you know, if I ever want to throw up any sort of video game content on there. So I'm kind of torn between those two things right now. But what I do know, I want to do some general commentary, kind of like, you ever watch Moist Critical or
yeah.
Penguin? Yeah, that I'm not gonna copy the guy, but that type of content has always been kind of what I've wanted to do long term. So that's the foundation I'm standing on right now. In terms of actual action, I would say this is my first actual step. My first actual, you know, piece of action is like doing this pod now, so I can like get into that, so I can get into the swing of things again, because I haven't really been consistently making content for months now. I've been sort of inconsistently doing it, and not a lot of it. So that's where I'm at. I'm kind of in a big transitional period right now, a very awkward transitional period. I don't feel like I have an identity right now as a content creator. I'm just kind of like in the midst of things. I have a few more things to figure out. A lot of it is figured out. That's the best I can give you right now, unfortunately.
Seems like you know what you kind of want to do, though. At least you're not just like, fuck,
yeah.
I don't know, man, whatever happens.
I'm not totally clueless, but there are definitely some details I have not, like, you know, fully fleshed out yet. But it'll get there. It will. I'm confident.
I definitely think if you're going to start a new channel, you should start it now and announce it as fast as fucking possible, so you can hurry up and go through the monetization process, because that's a fucking pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get 40,000 or 4,000 watch hours or some shit, and that's not fun.
It's not.
Not
yeah.
at
all. Channel that doesn't instantly get demonetized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw your tweet yesterday about that, and
there's no words that were said in my unlisted video that's going up today. No words. It's 30 seconds long, and I already got demonetized.
That's what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, dude, I think YouTube, especially with Call of Duty, I'm noticing too. It's like with gory video games, despite what they fucking say about, oh, we don't treat them any differently. When there's violence in videos, when there's swearing or crude humor or any of the above, YouTube most definitely treats you and your channel differently. I think there's truth to that for sure. And my channel, I wouldn't say has it as bad as your channel, but I would say my channel at the same time definitely has been slightly sort of not tainted, but like if I were to start completely from scratch, like it would definitely like just be a smoother you know, it would just be smoother in terms of like revenue in my opinion. Like, you know, it's like a fresh start, because my channel right now is kind of at a dead end space because, you know, I've had a lot of videos age restricted, ads on Call of Duty videos where I'm, you know, swearing and making horrible jokes all the time. The ads themselves aren't great for CPM. Like, you're not making a ton from those particular ads. Whereas like Allie, you know the squeaky clean motherfuckers, like
here.
They'll get ads that are like they'll get like Chevy ads and all these like high corporate ads that make a lot more money for you, just by being, you know, clean. So I want kind of a cleaner start. And you know, one of my main goals was to just get Tim Hansen to a mil, that channel. I just wanted that to be, I wanted to be able to say I was a zombies YouTuber that hit a mil and hit that club, hit that milestone. But like I'm kind of like, and the channel's like, I don't want to say it's at a complete dead end, but it's at like a all but dead end.
See that?
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know where you're coming from. Yeah,
it's not quite like a hopeless situation, but it's not quite as like, you know, trying to like regain, like trying to restart on that channel kind of seems like it's possible. It's very possible. I'm torn. I don't know exactly what I kind of should do in terms of where to upload content. But
I would do is once you're done with zombies, because the thing that fucks you, because what I've heard, the thing that really YouTube doesn't like is separate. Like, they want you to have like one core audience. They don't want you getting views for like, they don't want you separate, like spreading out your audience, like uploading different types. So that's why like the new meta is having multiple different channels. So if you start to upload something else to that channel, YouTube's gonna dick you down hard. Because they're like, no, you're only allowed to have one group of people watching your videos now. That's why like Noah and Lex and all them have like 5 different channels.
It's a very good point, actually. Yeah, I didn't fully consider that either. It's a very good point. Yeah, so I mean, it kind of seems like I'm leaning more towards starting a new channel and just because, you know, I want to upload video game content occasionally. Like, I'm not a gamer anymore. I never really was. I just liked COD Zombies. But don't, like, there are videos I still want to make that are video game related that I could potentially upload every now and then, like once in a blue moon on that channel, and still have that kind of exist and still be a memory and still have all of the previous videos. It's not like I'm deleting these videos. You know, people can still watch them, and I'm still making some money, and then I can upload kind of like shits and giggles videos every now and then too. On top of that, I can make that work, and there's a lot of possibilities, and it's a little overwhelming to, it's like, you got to take like baby steps with these sorts of things, but it's hard to take the first step because it's like, you know.
You don't know if that step's going to fuck you over or not.
Yeah.
You don't know if that's going to be the wrong one.
It's a little risky.
Here's what you got to do. So, do you know what channel types? Because YouTube has, like Justin kind of mentioned it, they don't like it when you intermingle audiences, and the reason is that YouTube actually categorizes your channel based on what type of YouTuber they think you are. Which is why there's kids channels, there's animation channels, there's gaming content. Like, that's why when PewDiePie uploads a video of him doing a Wish unboxing, it makes it to gaming trending first. Like, because YouTube has categorized him as a gaming channel. And what category you're in actually also directly affects your CPM per video. The channels with the highest CPM by like 40, like almost 400%, it's like 40 times bigger than normal. Finance channels. I'm not even fucking kidding you.
Yep.
A 10-minute finance channel, if you watch that start to finish, is the equivalent of you getting like 1 million views on your video in terms of CPM. These guys make so much fucking money. Which is why you had people like Ty Lopez and all that really pushing their videos for a while, because they were making serious bank. But no, Justin had a really good point of YouTube really doesn't like it when you intermingle audience like types, and it's because YouTube doesn't know what type of channel to categorize you in at that point, and they don't know how to push you with the algorithm. Your SEO just gets completely fucked.
The other new YouTube meta is the short, under minute long videos.
Yeah, that was a weird thing that popped up in the zombies community. I noticed, kind of like everyone's doing that. Not everyone, but like
I jumped
a lot
on
of
that
people
shit. I was like, oh, I'm getting in on that.
I did 2 of those, and then I deleted the second one I uploaded because it
one
was
did
just me
good.
like taking a poo on diary. Yeah, but then, I got a comment that was
funny.
like, "You could have just made the jump without the trample steam." And then when I saw that comment, I was like, "Yeah, maybe he was right. Maybe this whole fucking thing has no like base." I was just me trying to like get one final punch in on diarise, but whatever.
People are stupid.
Oh,
but
the thing with shorts as well is that that's like a whole nother category as well, where a lot of people like they'll try it on their main channel, but then they usually end up just creating an entire second shorts channel. Shorts are not monetized well, like
Yeah,
at
you
all.
get barely because you used to do shorts, Tim, right?
Yeah, you don't make money from those really. You make so like you do technically, but you make so little it's inconsequential. Like it's not gonna matter. You know what I mean? Like a couple bucks.
Only benefit that a creator of any size would get from shorts is by heavily branding themselves to where hopefully these people will use that name and the editing style and just the character on that screen to go find the source in the first place. Like that's why you have people like Ludwig and Miskiff and all these big Twitch streamers having big TikTok accounts. I can guarantee they're making maybe $30 a month off that shit.
TikTok pays shit. It's mainly the ads that people make money from, like, or sponsors.
But the reason that they have these TikTok accounts and like these shorts accounts is because someone who's might not know these guys, they're going to be scrolling through, they'll see a funny clip, but then at the end of the thing, it'll be like, watch the full stream here or watch it live next time. And it's like, boom, this is basically free advertisements from there. That's essentially what shorts is for bigger creators, is a really niche advertising platform. It's not something that is made to bring in money, but it's made to bring in attention that might bring money. So
oh yeah, exactly. It brings the people to your channel, and then they can take it from there.
yeah, and YouTube is very well aware that that is where things are going, and they realize, hey, we make a lot more money than the creators in this case. Full send. Like, fuck the creators, give us some money.
Fuck you, YouTube.
I noticed that's the motto on YouTube, and it always has been. Just fuck the creators.
Yeah, especially Rabb1t in
Fuck 'em
particular.
raw.
That guy can go suck a dick.
Google's motto used to be "Don't be evil," and then they actually removed that a couple years back.
And then they became evil as shit.
You serious, dude? Their motto is "Don't be evil."
It used to be. It used to be "Don't be evil." They actually removed that.
Weird.
Why would you?
I didn't even know that.
Just removing
the very
that.
thing they swore to destroy.
Exactly.
They fucking made a deal with the devil, and they're like, well, we gotta remove our bio now. We gotta fucking change that.
Google was like, we've been around for 27 years. You know what that means?
The time has come. There just needs to be a good competitor to YouTube. There just isn't.
There will be.
There
You
will be?
don't think maybe one day there'll be like a little startup? Maybe someone will
Absolutely
some
not.
traction
That's
on
because
something?
every place where YouTube could have been competed against, they've already been competed against and won. Long-term content. You got YouTube, and I mean not YouTube. Yeah, Netflix that came out with their own original series, which beat out YouTube originals. Short-term content. YouTube is trying to survive, but there's no way in hell they outlive TikTok at this rate. It's not going to happen. The only thing that YouTube has is medium-form content, where it's going to be between that 10 and 30-minute mark. Everything above that, why am I watching it on YouTube? I'd rather watch something on Netflix and binge it. Yada yada yada. Short-form content. Everyone has TikTok. That's where I'm going to go. YouTube, it has its one specific spot right there in the middle for that 10 to 30-minute mark usually. And there is almost a zero chance they get replaced, because the closest thing to a competitor they've ever had was Twitch, but Twitch completely fucked themselves by not giving a shit about DMCA and just let all their creators burn. Like
that, and like they just deplatform everyone who says like one bad thing, right?
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm still
it's-
on there, man. I've said some pretty I said some pretty fucked up shit sometimes.
Dude, some guy, while he's playing Pokemon Go when that was hot, some guy got mugged. He got punched while he was live on Twitch, and he got banned off of Twitch. He got banned because he got mugged.
That's what you get for getting mugged, bitch.
Like, what?
It's always really interesting. So I think I've mentioned it before as well, but Twitch doesn't actually do any of its moderating. They outsource all of it. Like 100% of Twitch's moderation is outsourced.
Thank you for
And so-
calling. This is Twitch moderator support. How may I help you?
So, and I mean, like, it's already been confirmed. Twitch also has like a list of creators that they give this outsource, like, hey, you're not allowed to touch them. Like, and if you are going to touch them, you're not allowed to permanently ban them. It's like a 3-day ban at most, like Pokimane, Sekuno, Ludwig, like all those people were on there.
Both Twitch and YouTube play hella favorites.
Yeah. But
They do.
So they have like their blacklist of you're not allowed to touch these people. Other than that, Twitch's like, moderation team, it's fucking Wild West, dude. Like they don't care. They will literally ban anyone and everyone. Like there's been cases where if like let's say Tim, you got banned off Twitch and Justin came to visit you and he logged onto Twitch on his phone while connected to your Wi-Fi, Justin's channel could be terminated and Twitch would not give a single fuck.
Wow. Holy shit.
Because they IP ban you is what it is.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Totally. Yeah.
And so they would be like, this account that was never here
Carson,
before,
you do know
and
I'm
it's,
streaming
like,
on
been here
Twitch. Stop
forever.
scaring me.
No, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm being straight up honest because, I mean, YouTube is just as fucked.
Yeah, YouTube's just as scuffed, man.
Like, the point is that there is no clear winner when it comes to the internet. Every place has its niche. Every place has its ups and downs. So if you're not following, Justin on Twitch and subscribe to Tim and all of his future channels, you guys are fucked up.
Yep. Twitch.tv/crazyrabbit. That's where all the streams are from now on. Check it out.
On God.
I saw a regarding, was it the Pokemon streamer that got mugged? Carson?
Yep, he was playing Pokemon Go on the street at night.
This is related to Pokemon, but completely changing gears for a second. Came out recently that a gentleman basically took a $57,000 COVID relief loan. Said he had 10 employees, had a shell company, fraudulently put all this information in. He used 57 grand to pay for a Charizard, like a some sort of
Charizard?
rare Charizard. The feds came after him. He's going to prison for 3 years. Another 3 years of 3 years of probation afterwards. And the government made him pay restitution on the original $85,000 loan, plus another $1,000, and they took possession of the Charizard
No,
card.
not the Charizard.
What's the government going to do with a first edition Charizard?
They'll probably auction it off.
Biden's just sitting in office like, it's just like, wow,
What
this is a
the
really cool
fuck
card.
is this?
He's like throwing it, trying
How
to
did
get
he
it
get
stuck in the wall.
caught? Did he brag
Biden.
about it online?
Well, no, so there's a lot of COVID relief fraud is going about, and the feds are cracking down on it. There's another guy that basically had a bunch of shell companies, was paid out almost $5 million, and got arrested at the airport as he was getting ready to flee the country.
I wanted to flee the
Wow,
country
dude.
with only 5 million.
Dude, hospitals took big advantage of COVID too. They would just ask for probably way more money than they needed to. Like these hospitals were probably over-diagnosing COVID because of how similar the symptoms are to
Yeah, if you
other
had more
respiratory
COVID,
problems.
you got more money.
Yeah, exactly. It's a whole corrupt system, dude.
Oh yeah,
We got to tear it down.
very very corrupt. But Heather, listen, there's a nurse shortage going on, and this Biden, or I think it was Biden, he's trying to limit to how much nurses can get paid or something like that. So there's even less nurses that are working right now. For one 12-hour shift, Heather made $1,000 because of all the bonuses and incentives that they were offering her. So in one day, she made $1,000.
I thought you were about to say that that was a bad thing. I thought you were talking about how she wasn't making a lot. I was like, dude, $1,000 in a day.
She's
Holy
making
shit.
a lot
I'm
now
not-
because of all the incentives, because they just have nobody to work. So they're like, listen, you guys want to come work extra shifts? We'll pay you triple what you get.
Wow.
We just don't have anybody there.
I'm on the same board as you right there, Tim. I thought he was about to say, that's all she fucking made. That's what I was expecting to hear.
All she makes
That's
is
all
1K
she
a day,
made.
dude. I'm in pain.
I'm her trophy husband.
That
Stay
may
at home,
be true.
husband.
but,
Living.
at this rate, what will $1,000 be worth 2 years from now?
Fuck, man, I had to spend $60 to fill up on gas.
Probably 850.
I about lost it. I used to spend only 40, and that would be way more than I needed. Now it's 60, and I barely get a full tank.
Average price of gas came out yesterday. Jumped 35 cents in the last 3 or 4 days. It's now $4.14 according to AAA as an average.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it's $5 where I am.
Tim,
it's
do you
fucking
put
$5.
what kind of gas do you put in your car?
I use premium though,
That's
so
what I
definitely
used to.
I pay for the most expensive that they offer, but ended up being to fill up my whole tank, which is 13, 14 gallons. Ended up being $70 almost, and I'm not. I don't drive a big car. Like I drive a 2017 Acura TLX, like a very standard fucking normal car. You know what I mean?
Some
Sedan, I think.
bullshit. Fucking
Whatever.
The average in California for regular, not even premium, is 515, and that was as of like days ago.
That's a whole lot of nope.
Why don't
They
you guys
have-
just get motorcycles? They're so much
Heather
cheaper.
won't let me get a motorcycle, Carson.
I want to get a horse. Just go through the drive-through with a fucking horse.
Where would you keep said horse?
I got a closet. Throw some hay in there.
I got a closet.
I sleep with a kid and a dog in the same bed as me with my wife, so I may
After
as well.
one day, that room's gonna smell like just a barnyard, and just gonna. Oh my god.
I'll leave it a bucket so I can just. It can stand up while it
Yeah,
sleeps, and if it needs
okay.
to shit, it can just
Are
release
you gonna
into
try
the
to
bucket.
potty train
that'll
your
work.
horse that you're keeping in the closet?
Not the.
I want to
crazy
buy it
one.
potty trained. Unlike my dog, my
wanna buy
dog came
potty
on
trained.
potty trained. I had to potty train her, and she was shitting and pissing everywhere for the first week or two, and that was bad, really bad.
Horses in New York, not mistaken, they have to wear diapers, but they don't shit in the street.
Horses?
Yep.
That's so goddamn funny. You just
Like,
see a
is pretty
horse.
funny.
You know, the old timey, the retro carriages, or the New York Police Department with their mounted horses.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, they have essentially diapers that little
I'm gonna
bags
choose to
that-
believe that because it's funny.
Yeah. Like, I don't care if that's true or not. I'm not gonna look it up because I
No,
don't
I'm
want to break
believing
the
it.
magic.
It's funny.
Yeah, I don't want to break the
It's
magic.
true. I'll Google it right now.
Walk down the street and this horse has a giant ass diaper.
Speaking
on.
of breaking the magic, I watched Jimmy Neutron the other day, and that show did not hold up. That show
Yeah,
did
don't do
not
that. Why'd
pass
you-
the test of time.
Why'd you do that? You ruined it.
Because some shows do pass the test of time. Like some shows are really good when you watch them again as adults, but Jimmy Neutron, the animating style, the animation,
So
it's
bad.
it's like kind of unnerving. It's like when you look back at it, you're like,
Damn, this is.
why did I ever watch this?
Because you did.
It's
That
hard.
was the pinnacle of the time.
Some like Fairly Odd Parents aged really well. SpongeBob aged really well. There are a lot of shows that aged really well, but Nickelodeon shows. But Jimmy Neutron, no, not in my opinion.
This is like my prime example of didn't age well. Austin Powers. I
Oh,
went
yeah,
back
you
and
were I
rewatched
remember.
that, and it was it wasn't like offensive. It just wasn't funny. I was like, oh, this is, man.
So
Yeah.
I'm glad that
Ruined
that
it.
opinion is finally getting popular because I never liked Austin Powers ever. So
Like I still quote it all the time, and it was funny back then. It's just the me of today doesn't think it's funny.
Yeah, but he respected women. Is that why it wasn't funny?
Maybe we're very anti that
God.
nowadays.
He
Might
does
be what it is.
Austin Powers respects women. He doesn't fuck drunk bitches.
I would.
I shit you not. When my parents was on a
Man's camera's
company,
froze.
when my parents was
Free cum face.
Yeah, man. He's
That
getting
happened to me on
blowy.
Turb's podcast. Oh, there you are.
Backup camera.
verbs.
I have a parent that they were on some company conference. It was like 800 people. They're all muted, and it's just the top brass that are talking. And they said for International Women's Day, we're not going to refer to everybody as "Hey guys." We're going to say "Hey gals." And
Hey, gals.
yeah, it was so cringy. It was almost an insult.
Oh
to
my god. Companies try way too hard, man.
It's
Just sell your fucking
disingenuous.
product and shut the fuck up, man.
Facts.
Be
Facts.
putting your politics into shit because everyone knows you're just doing it just to pander.
Virtue signaling,
Yeah.
right?
Get the fuck out
Yeah.
of here. Shut your dumb ass up.
I just looked at that horse link and I love the headline. The horse diaper directive that left New York carriage drivers fuming.
They was fuming.
Do you know the price of diapers?
How many people in New York are riding around on fucking horses, dude? I mean, it's a city. Like, where's there room for that? I guess upstate New York. Never mind.
I don't know. Horse carriages are a big thing in San Antonio, so there's that. I don't know if that's a thing in New York at all, but
Oh no.
Y'all got land down there, though. New York is like, there's upstate New York, but that would be like Imagine walking around in the city and some dude's just on his horse on the sidewalk, just like with a
Well,
fucking
no,
giant diaper.
I think that's where the directive is in place, directly in New York City, because you have the basically people can pay for it's kind of
Horse
crazy,
taxi.
but remote care or romantic carriage rides, that sort of.
I mean, New York's
The,
already dog shit. Might as well be horse shit too.
Lisa's in the background. Hi, Lisa.
I saw the baby foot.
Oh, little baby.
Hey, baby. The baby threw up all over her. She's trying to deal with that right now.
Oh, lovely.
Happens.
Yeah. Happens to the best of us.
Man, y'all make kids sound so much fun. Let me tell you.
Dude,
Hey Tim,
don't
how
even
much
get
you want
me
to bet
started.
Justin has more kids than you and me combined?
After one, I'm getting snipped. I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
He says
No,
this, but
get her snipped, dude.
Yeah,
Don't
fuck
allow
women.
that.
I
Don't
wanna be
allow
blowing
Heather to
fucking
get in your head.
blowing loads everywhere. Fuck no, I'm getting snipped.
I'm actually planning on having 2 more, but not anytime soon.
Psychopath.
It's gonna be a while, so it's gonna be like for 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years, we're gonna have 2 more, like another set. So I'm gonna have a lot more time until then. Yeah, so like a half decade from now, I'm gonna repeat that and then get another dog. But we'll be in a house by then, anyways. And Thorn and Olin will be like 5, 6 years old, so they'll be more. They'll be able to help us, help them maybe at that point.
I like being able to just to like leave my house and go do whatever I want. I like that.
Yeah, apparently I don't. Apparently I don't like that idea.
Yeah, I can tell.
It used to be a lot easier, but now that Olin's getting bigger too, it's increasingly more challenging.
Does he like when you go out in public? Does he just yell random words sometimes?
No. Thorin is actually really, really respectful in public, surprisingly. He's really, really not quiet, but he's very social, but he's very like he's very calm in public. He will never throw a fit in public. It's when we're home and he's comfortable and it's just us that he will.
That's when he knows to lash out.
Yeah, that's exactly when. Yes.
Yeah, at least he knows.
Yeah.
He knows words. Not, they don't sound like words, but he's speaking.
Getting
you know what I mean?
close.
He's blah, 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 that kind of thing. But he's getting there. He talks to me and I don't understand what the fuck he's saying, so I just pretend to go along with it. I'm just yeah.
Oh, yeah, I agree, little buddy. He starts throwing up some fucking gang signs. You're like, shit, I don't know where you learned that.
Shit, I don't know what that means, son, but what you got that do-rag on for?
I was talking to
Why are you
JD and I come
wearing
back
baby
and I just
blue?
hear what you got that do-rag on for.
Yeah, we're gonna make all of Tim's kids be in a gang.
I'm sick.
Crips.
Crips or Bloods. Which one was Snoop Dogg a part of? He was the Crips, right?
Snoop lived in Long Island, California. He associated with Bloods. He was not a Crip. He wasn't either, but he associated with he was part of Death Row, which was
Luke was a member of the Really 20 Crips.
Oh, he was?
Oh, they're gonna come shoot
just
you
looked it
up,
up.
Tim. You fucked that up. They're gonna come
Oh,
kill you.
Well,
You
here's
dumb
a
white
fact,
boy.
though. Here's a fact. Death Row labels, which he was signed with, associated, Suge Knight and all those guys, they were all Bloods. So if he was a Crip then, I don't know, maybe he's fucking both. Maybe he's just a Blood and a Crip.
He's an
Maybe people
inside
just
man.
respect him that much. They're just like, you know what, Snoop? You can be neutral. You can be like on the fence about this. You can be involved in both gangs, and we won't shoot you because you make good music.
Wasn't he a getaway murderer or something?
That wouldn't shock me.
He was on trial. He went to trial for murder or something, but he got off.
Oh, dude, he
Nice
must have
muted.
made that song about it too. Murder was the case that they gave me.
Yeah, no, he was convicted for it.
He was convicted. Oh, I
Like-
thought he got off.
Yeah, no, he was straight up convicted, but he got a light sentence because of his involvement with everything else.
Oh, that's nice. He did a
No,
bunch of charity
dude.
work.
That if you read and just listen to some of the old stories, there was so much not just gang violence, but just everything was run by basically Crips and Bloods back then. That's Tupac, Biggie, everything like that was directly involved with just gang affiliation and gang violence. It was holy fuck.
Oh, fuck that
Yeah.
shit. It's the mafia days. That's the cool time to
Uh,
learn about.
The big rapper that's affiliated with the Bloods though is Lil Wayne. He's the big Blood rapper.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
Dude grew up in New Orleans. I wouldn't have expected that.
Oh yeah, no, he's a blood.
Gangs.
And then
You ever watch
dude.
that Unsolved documentary about Biggie and Tupac? They go over all this, like basically how all the 90s went down, like in rap culture, and like how they all died and how all that went down. I recommend it's on Netflix.
That's why rap culture had such a bad, rap with so many, like our parents and everything like that, especially where they're like, oh, it's just like gang music and all that. It's like,
Yeah.
It really was gang music. Like,
Oh,
people
yeah,
are
dude.
actually fucking gangbangers. But nah,
Listen,
it's.
I
Like,
didn't grow up with gang music. I grew up with Justin Timberlake. Unlike you,
I grew up with
heathens.
Lil Pump, who
You know.
I think does not exist anymore.
Back, all right.
Nah, it was so. But another fact that Snoop Dogg is a Crip. He Crip walked at the Super Bowl.
Didn't they tell him not to do that?
No, like
was
he
like,
told
I'm
him he was
just gonna
going
do
to. He actually told them to make Kendrick Lamar censor some lyrics in one of his songs because one of his lyrics references the Bloods, and Snoop Dogg made Kendrick censor it, and he did.
Get cucked.
I thought it was so funny.
Ah, little baby, look back, little baby back there.
Your baby.
There, baby, back there.
Oh, little baby.
Bye. All right.
Do you guys think you would ever? Okay, here's a question. Totally off topic.
You watch porn live on the podcast?
Yeah, that's
together?
exactly what I was gonna say.
And then the first
I have
one,
a
the boss
personal
loses.
video that I'm gonna link. I'm gonna link you guys. Just filmed it earlier.
Hold on, I think I just got whiplash.
Everyone take one Viagra, and whoever has a boner last wins.
Isn't there like what's that challenge where like a bunch of dudes? What is it fucking called? Like where they come
Ejaculate on a cracker,
Yeah,
and then the
what's
last
that
guy
called?
to come has to eat the cracker.
Soggy Biscuit.
That, yeah.
That's why Killer had
Yep.
the name Soggy Biscuit for so long, is because we made a joke about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'd fucking eat it," and we were like,
He
"Hold
would
the fuck."
not. No. You could not pay me enough to do that. Fuck that.
And then he was in the middle of like some game store, and he was on Discord on his phone, and he had us all on speaker, and Dem started yelling, "My name is Deacon, and I like to eat soggy biscuits."
My name is Deacon. I like to eat soggy biscuits. Thank you for coming.
It's so funny.
Is that what they call
India. You went from
crackers?
Australia to India.
Same
The
thing.
biscuit game is what I always heard it called growing up in the U.S. Anyways,
Yeah.
So, like, there's the biscuit game, and the Mad Hatter was the other one where everyone has to
Fuck's a
finish into
Mad
a hat.
Hatter.
Everyone finishes into a hat. The last one has to wear it.
What the? Who comes up with this shit, man?
That's the name of a fucking Avenged Sevenfold song. Hang on.
Well, the Mad Hatter is also the name of the crazy dude from Alice in Wonderland. Like this
Oh.
name is used in a lot of places.
Did he wear a
Mad
hat,
Hat-
Carson?
Yeah.
What's up?
Was that guy wearing a hat in Alice in Wonderland?
Was.
Yeah,
That one was coming. That hat.
sick.
Hell yeah.
Johnny Depp played him in the live action.
Johnny Depp got railroaded. His career got screwed after that.
That
Amber
whore.
Heard.
Yeah, didn't his girlfriend, his fellow actor girlfriend, like do some horrible shit to him or something?
Yeah.
Basically, she physically abused the ever living fuck out of him, and then pressed charges against him for physically abusing her after he finally defended himself after like a decade of it. And then the judge was still like, "Listen, I understand it was in self-defense after a decade of getting the living shit beat out of you, but she's a woman, get fucked." And then the judge got up and started like flossing or some shit. I don't know all the details.
Started flossing.
That would have been fucking something to see.
If he would have done that, I'd have been like, you know what? I don't agree with the verdict, but that's funny. I'll allow it.
It's like,
Like Judge Judy gets up, just fucking. I can't even do that shit.
My brother
guys
tried to
ever
get me to
seen
do that at my wedding, and I was like, no.
he tried to get you to floss at your wedding.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's very no.
Heather would kill me, man. I can't. Is
No,
that what it
thank you.
was?
Did you guys ever see the Rick and Morty basically made an audio remake of a U.S. I think it was a court out of Georgia, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah,
The transcript.
yeah, that was really good. That was like trending on you. Like that would not get out of my recommended box on YouTube like a year ago, or 2 years ago.
And it was 100% legitimate. It was not made up.
That was just non-stop my recommended.
I think he had to take early retirement.
Jesus.
Speaking of a video that was in recommended, did you guys see the thing about the guy who became the richest person on Earth for like 7 minutes?
No.
It's like an 8-minute video, so I strongly suggest you guys go watch it because it is so fucking funny. But to make a long story short, the guy lives in the UK, and it's super, super easy to actually set up a business with shareholders in the UK. Like, it took him like less than 10 minutes to set it all up, and then it took him like less than 2 weeks to get all the paper done. Like, paperwork completely finalized. Well, no, it took him less than a day to get the paperwork finalized for him to become a company. And what it is that he made a company with like 50 billion shares or something like that, like a crazy amount of shares. And then he sells one share to a random person on the street for $50. And then he submits all that paperwork. And because of that, his company is now evaluated at like $585 billion, making him the richest person on earth. But in the same letter that the government sends him, congratulating him about this, they say, however, it also appears that your company has zero revenue. Because of this, there is a pending fraudulent case ready to be opened. We strongly advise you dissolve this company immediately. So the guy then spends the next 7 minutes contacting the random chick he sold the share to because he has to have her permission to dissolve the company. She says yes, of course, and he dissolves the company. But for 7 minutes, he was the richest person on earth, and it is so fucking funny.
Imagine the amount of
7
fear.
minutes, he was probably also shitting himself of.
Oh my god.
Like, he's recording all of this. Like, he records him opening the letter for the first time, reading it, getting all hype, and then continues reading. And you can see, like, the guy went paler than I am. Like, he was done. He was like,
just died inside. He's just like, oh my god, my life is
like,
over.
Well, it's because he made a company, and so the company has to end with limited. Like, the way he set it up, it has to end with limited. And so the name of the company was like Unlimited Money Limited. And he has to give the company a description. And what is their description? A macaroni factory.
Oh.
A macaroni factory called Unlimited Money Limited had an evaluation by the government for like $585 billion for 7 minutes. And it was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Well, I know who my next business
crazy.
partner is. This guy's got some good ideas.
Right? Like,
Get a hold of this guy.
but like, the thing to me, it was a masterclass YouTube video. The only thing he could have done better was make it 10 minutes so he could have got some more money. Because, like, I'm watching it, I'm like, all right, the thumbnail, it's like him and Elon Musk standing next to each other, and like Elon has like his 385 billion or whatever the fuck it is now, and then he has his 587. He's standing in front, like looking all smug like a fucking bitch. And then you're watching the video, and he just immediately says, "Here's what we're gonna do," and just explains it. And then the entire rest of the video is just his adventure getting it done, like to the point where he's standing in the middle of the street. He's wearing a wrinkly suit and like a folding table that he put his bed sheet over with a little Sharpie sign that says investment opportunity. And he's like walking up to people trying to get them to buy these stocks. And it was just, man, it was such a beautiful fuck. I said it to my boss. I was like, now this is fucking grade A content. Like, this is going to hit trending.
Don't you just wish you had $580 billion or whatever?
Is Elon Musk the richest man in the world right now? Because I'm looking at this, and Jeff Bezos has a net worth of 171.4 billion. But Elon Musk has a net worth of 229.1 billion. So that's like almost 50 billion more.
Yeah.
Elon is number one, I think.
Elon is number one right now. The thing is that the reason those two are in such a close tie is because the valuations for Amazon and Tesla and SpaceX and all that change so fast that these guys are losing like billions of dollars a day and then making billions of dollars a day. Like, it fluctuates so fucking much so fast.
Doesn't that sound so like stressful to see just that much money, even though you're working with that much money? To see that much money still, just like relative to a normal human being.
Oh my god.
To see that much fucking money just exit your wallet like that would freak me out, no matter how much money I have. Just to see billions of dollars leave my account. Like,
I would have.
Whoa.
Bro, the second I get worth 10 million, I'm cashing out. Like, I could not. He's still going, still running shit. Like, nah, if I started a company, the second I can make 10 million, I'm out.
do you think you could live the rest of your life, like, within reason? You're not buying a bunch of overly expensive things. You're just buying normal things that you need, and like, with, you know, you're splurging a little bit. But like, do you think you could live off 10 mil for the rest of your
easily.
life?
10 million? Yeah. I think a million, you'd be like, could you? But I think 10 million by far, yeah.
Yeah, I think I would agree. 5 million?
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Maybe,
where's that camera?
probably.
Hang on.
Your camera's the one that's.
Yeah, hang on. Luckily, it's your guys' camera that you see. There we go. But yeah, I think 5 million easily. I think 1 million, you'd be like, could you live the rest of your life on that? Yeah.
You'd have to live. You know what? You'd probably have to live kind of frugally, honestly, with 1 million. Like, assuming you're not making any more than that, you'd probably have to like. I don't even know if 1 million could get you through a whole life.
How old are you getting?
Well, hold on. So here's like the one thing where it's always like, okay, if you had this much money to survive off of, am I allowed to invest that money?
Yeah.
For this hypothetical, the hypothetical we're talking about, no, because you could make your money infinitely make you money.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like $1 million, like you're set for life because you can easily just even if you invest 20% of that and somehow blew through 80, like that's you still have like 200,000 that you could just go ahead and ride off of through investments. Like there's plenty of easy investment opportunities where you'd be able to survive off that. If you can't invest and you actually have to survive off of $1 million for the rest of your life, like all right, let's say, let's lowball it. Let's say we're 20, we're gonna live till 80. That's 60 years. That's $1 million divided by 60.
Math.
Like that's plenty of fucking money to survive off of. You don't have to live frugally.
Let me see.
Yeah, I don't even want to do math. I gave up on school for that. I don't want to do that.
That's
It's gonna come out to
$16,666.
What is that? A year? A month?
That's
a year?
That would be a year. All right.
16 grand a year.
So it's like, all right, I've made 16 grand a year. And that was paying rent, paying all these fucking bills, paying debt, everything like that. I'm assuming that if I have $1 million, I can pay that off pretty quickly, and then I'd have a little bit, I wouldn't have to worry about rent. I'm not paying for my mortgage or anything. I'm gonna pay for some basic fucking utilities, and that's it.
Yeah, the most expensive shit that I gotta pay is my fucking mortgage. That shit's hella expensive.
Yeah.
If I didn't have to pay that, oh my god.
That wasn't 60 grand. That was 16, right?
Yeah, 16.
Rent
$1 million
is more.
divided by 60.
Dude, rent up where I live is fucking way too expensive.
How much do you pay for rent?
$3 grand a month.
3 grand, bro. My house payment's only 2. That's insane, dude. Get a fucking house.
That's why we're in the process of doing that.
God,
I mean, rent's a scam, anyways.
I mean, it does come with its own benefits. Don't get me wrong. I don't have to worry about mowing my lawn or doing a bunch of that kind of shit right now, or maintenance. If something breaks or gets destroyed, I don't have to really worry about that. So it comes with like small benefits, and like the location is good. I mean, Massachusetts in general is not good, but like for Massachusetts standards, I live in like in the northeast, one of the better areas. So I'm not complaining too much, but like, yeah, over a long time, that's fucking ridiculous. We want to get the hell out of here.
Oh yeah, I
kind
can't
of
blame
upset
you.
that we never hung out when I was in Rhode Island.
You didn't even hang out with us when we were in Vegas.
I made an appearance once in a while.
You made a
Why would you hang
cameo.
out with me? Motherfucker didn't even leave his room in Vegas.
Dude, I used to go to Rhode Island because my mom had a friend that lived there, so I used to go there like pretty frequently when I was younger. So I've been to Rhode Island many a time.
That's probably
Kind of like
shit.
it's a really small state.
Yeah, it's shit.
Man, I was talking to someone the other day, and they were like, yeah, like I gotta go on this like crazy long ride to go pick up my dad and all this stuff. I was like, well, how far is it? They're like, it's an hour. And I'm like,
Bro, what?
motherfucker.
Fuck that.
But I was like, what? Like that's a long drive to you? Like for me to get to like the nearest fucking like good mall is an hour, right? For me to go to the place where there's like any concerts, like festivities, which would be San Antonio, that's a 3-hour drive for me. Like,
Bro, I drive like 30 minutes almost every day to get some like Chick-fil-A or some shit.
right? Like it amazes me how fucking small some places are, and like
Not anymore though. Just
State of Rhode Island, you can
gas
drive
prices.
Oh my god, yeah.
State of Rhode Island, you can drive from one
Let me start on
corner
them.
to the other corner. It would take you about an hour and 10 minutes with.
bet you I could do it in 20 on my bike.
Man, I wish I could get a bike.
With my
You can, just don't
jetpack,
do it.
5 minutes.
No, I can't. Heather would kill me.
She doesn't have to know.
She's. What is that? That's my pedal bicycle. Ring, ring, ring. The little fucking.
Have you made
Nothing,
a
yep.
really?
Practicing my bike noises for when I eventually get one.
Have you made a really poor financial decision ever, Justin, that Heather got upset at you about, like genuinely upset?
No, I'm usually pretty good. Like, I mean, she may have gotten mad one time when I bought a gun, but didn't say anything. But I
Right.
usually don't buy stupid shit.
Right.
Besides
I was
my
gonna say
guns,
the same thing.
I've never really spent a bunch of money on anything without telling her. I'm usually pretty good about that.
Hey, and at least that gun money goes to a good place.
Yeah. And like also we have like so we have a joint account and also our separate accounts. And as long as I throw in a certain amount in our joint, I can do whatever the fuck I want with my money, and she can do whatever the fuck she wants with her money.
What about you, Tim? Have you done any really bad financial decisions that like what the fuck?
No, if there really was one, it'd probably come to mind immediately. So I'll say no. But like, if I thought about it long enough, I'm sure I could think of something. But no, I've never understood. Like, we're pretty open with each other. I wouldn't like go behind our back and like, dude. Honestly, the thought of like losing my money terrifies me so much to the point where like I don't spend more than I have to. Like, I really try my best to.
So
like I try to live a very minimalistic life.
I thought this conversation was coming up, and then you were going to transition into XRP.
No, I
Yo,
haven't...
fingers crossed, man. Let's go.
Yeah, fingers still crossed on that.
Yeah,
I got my ledger.
Where this is going.
Listen, one day when the U.S. economy crashes, crypto is gonna go up, and we'll be golden, man.
Our stocks
like
down
how-
right now.
That would be what's going on in Russia right now. But
I was going to say, I like how the economies are crashing right now, and crypto right along with it is
the
like,
fuck up,
yeah,
Carson!
let me just nosedive.
Don't you ruin? We should have bought gold. That's what we should have bought. Oh, gold is always the best to buy in my
Gold
opinion.
doubloons.
Just doesn't like, unless an asteroid crashes made of pure gold. It's not nothing. Gold ain't going anywhere.
So do you think like back in the day and like I don't even know what time period in human history, but like you know those like fat cat fucking African rulers in like Ghana that they're part of the country or the continent relied so much on gold exportation. Like their economy was pretty much all about gold. So like I'm gonna try to look this guy up, but like there's like this argument that the richest guy in the world ever was like one of those African kings that just would sit on like piles and piles of gold because of how much more valuable gold is than like actual money. You know what I mean? Like
based as
was
shit.
it Alexander the Great?
I'm gonna try to look this guy's name up because I fucking studied this and I forgot his name because I forget everything I learned.
Richest person of all time. Okay, yeah, no, I see who you're talking about because as soon as I looked that up, Mansu Musa.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
who came
this
up for
guy.
me too. Yeah.
Exactly. Mansa
Holy
Musa.
Fuck, that's a lot of money.
Nah, some guy from the UK was richer than him for like 7 minutes.
Yeah, he didn't actually have it though. It was all imaginary.
Yeah.
14th century West African ruler who was so rich his generous handouts wrecked an entire country's economy. Wow.
Julius Caesar's up there on the list too. He was worth a lot of money. His wealth is indescribable. That's how much he was
400
fucking
billion.
worth.
Estimated to be 400 billion. How the fuck do they estimate that? This is like 2012 study.
Billions not gonna. Yeah, I would have.
400 billion dollars, dude.
And it's so crazy thinking like a billion, like it's hard to put that in perspective how much a billion is sometimes.
I guess it's hard to think about a million, and then you think about a fucking billion. Bro, how come all these dude? Like, if I was a billionaire, I'd be doing dope as shit stuff. Like, I'd be like going to random cities and just rebuilding road. Like, I'd be doing cool as fuck stuff so everybody loves me. Like, I'd be real life Iron Man.
Elon Musk launching a car into space.
I want to launch a car. I'd probably launch a giant dildo. That'd be funnier.
All right, so here's like
I
a good
agree.
That's
Like-
Jeff Bezos just wrote.
a way that you can kind of see perspective. The Super Bowl, if you guys saw any pictures or videos of it, you saw the crowd. How many people would you say are in that crowd at the Super Bowl?
Oh, I don't know.
I guess like 60,000. It's just a
60,000.
guess.
Each ticket
70,000.
was like 6,500 something.
So in total, there was 70,240 people in the crowd.
Damn.
Now think, that's 70,000 people. That's not even a tenth of a million, right? And it's like, so already it's like, holy shit, 1 million people is like crazy, and like, you know, YouTube numbers. Like, now imagine a billion. Like, holy fuck, dude, 1 billion is such a big number. It's like actually inconceivable. It doesn't
Like
sound that
400
Nice.
of those. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it's like it's so inconceivably big. I don't think any of us will ever actually see 1 billion of a certain thing all at once ever. Like,
Yeah, Jeff Bezos had this quote where he's like, he said, I couldn't spend all of my money if I actively tried to. Like he said, if he sat down all day just spending his money, he probably could not just spend it all.
That's because he's not. That's because he's not doing it right.
That's because it's not investing in NFTs.
Nah, that's because he's not me. I could spend that money. I'd buy a small country.
He's not giving it to charity. You know what happens to money when you give it to charity?
Goes to waste.
Most likely nothing.
Yeah. That's why I don't give to charities. And also,
Really
I hate people. God damn it.
Yeah, it obviously depends on which charity, but I feel like the money I've given to charity has not done shit. Like, you know, the ones at the grocery stores were like,
oh, I always tell them no.
I usually say yes for $1, but like if they ask for more than that, I'm like, no.
That's a tax write-off.
Fuck you.
Would you like to donate 40 cents to children in need? And I'm just like,
yeah, I do got children in need. Tim's kids. Let me give to him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would you like to donate $10 to my fucking kid? Didn't think so.
They do that. I'm just like, listen, I know it makes me heartless to do this. Bye. I don't fucking care.
That takes $1 out of the bin.
Charities are fucking scams, dude.
You remember that South Park episode where Randy goes to Whole Foods?
He's gotta like
and then
rip the dollar.
Fucking the cash register. The guy there is so judgmental about him not being able to donate
she's a hungry
the
one.
money.
You're gonna have to pull harder.
Oh, frozen pizza, beer, donuts, and not $1 for the hungry children in Africa. And he would announce it on the intercom for the whole store to hear. Yeah, because they fucking pressure you into it, and they make you feel bad about it too. They'll give you a scowl if you don't do it.
I would love that, actually. I honestly would love to see that happen. I wouldn't even care if it happened to me because I just wouldn't care. But the amount of joy I would get out of seeing someone lose their shit at being judged by some random fucking underpaid cashier would be amazing.
Yeah. When Carson was there, I would have told that cashier to kill themselves.
I still can't believe you fucking did that. Did you hear that story, Tim? I can't remember.
Talk to me about that.
I don't think so.
When I was in Florida with Justin, we stopped at some like fucking 7-Eleven or some shit, and the cashier was just like being really like oversharing, like really oversharing, talking about like everything. And she was like, yeah, no, I was supposed to get off at like 5 and we're there at like 9 or something like that, like, you know, in the evening. She's like, I was supposed to get off at 5 and then this happened and this happened. Justin's like, yeah, She's like, it's just, I've been here for like 12 hours. And Justin's like, honestly, at this point, I would just kill myself. She just stops and looks at him. He's like, all right, bye.
Don't fucking talk to me.
Well, like, the thing that really pissed me off about this is that I was next in line and I had to deal with it.
Don't talk to me. I don't want to hear your shit. Just fucking ring me up, ringer person.
But the fact that you told some random
which
fucking
store?
Like,
I'm curious.
Like it was a Circle K.
Yeah.
It's a little gas station.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah.
It was so fucking
talk
funny.
to you. Don't talk to me. I saw her the other day. She's still alive.
Just had to take your advice, I guess.
I need to go get my fountain Pepsi. She was still alive. I gave her the finger as I walked out. She needed to know.
I can't be rude to strangers like that unless they're rude to me, of course. I'm not like that. I'm a very polite boy in public.
I'm usually polite, but when you start talking to me about shit I don't care about, you're gonna. I don't want to hear your shit.
Fair enough.
Don't talk to me.
You know what? Yeah, I get that.
I'm generally very nice.
I'm a jackass degenerate, so.
I'm a good person. I pay taxes.
We've been doing this podcast for an hour and 25 minutes, and I'm surprised that we haven't brought up the nut in the Kremlin.
Oh,
fuck it. I'm nutting where?
Poutine.
No,
I'm so lost right now. What?
Tremendously
lost
confused.
his mind, and we're going for Cold War II Redux.
We're going to war.
Rephrase that entire sentence in English.
Ukraine versus Russia.
You fucking hurt my head so goddamn much. Oh my god.
Here's a question about that. How much would it cost? Like, all right, you guys are all single. No kids or anything. How much would it cost you to go fight for Ukraine? Like, how much would they have to give you to go and fight for Ukraine?
The ammo.
Just the ammo? God damn.
Wow.
You got some low standards, my guy.
I don't know. I think I gotta say, I think I would die for my country. Like, obviously you mentioned no kids. Like, now that I have kids, I'm terrified of losing my kids. But yeah, if I'm single in this scenario, Yeah, I think I would go die for my country. Probably.
Not
like
your
I want to get
country.
paid for when I get
Ukraine.
back. Oh, for Ukraine.
Ukraine's like, all right, we're giving people money to come and fight. You have no wife, no kids, and you work a minimum wage job.
I mean, the military, the Ukrainian military is probably not going to pay me more than U.S. minimum wage.
Hypothetically, they'll give you whatever you want to come and fight for
All right,
until
all
the
right, I
conflict
got-
is over.
Mercenaries in Ukraine
I'll take like
making like 20,000 a month.
I'll take at least $1 million a year for that. At least.
That's what my go-to
Like
was $1
minimum.
million.
All right, hear me out here. Hear me out here. I go fight, and when I get back, I get 24 hours purge rules, and I get to keep my gun.
That's not how that works.
I promise I will make it out okay.
I get to sleep with my gun by my head.
It's not how that's gonna work.
I get to keep my gun, a box of ammo, and 24 hours no repercussions legally. I promise I will have enough money by the end of the day to be
You'd
fine.
be the guy in the war movies, like the second the ramp comes down, you're like, all right, man, follow me, and you get shot right in the head.
Hell no!
That'd be you.
The second that ram comes down, I'm grabbing the back of your collar, ducking behind. I got a meat shield. Let's
Nah,
fucking go.
I'd already be on the ground, like waiting for all you guys to die. Like, I'm already laying down at that point.
Y'all have seen Saving Private Ryan, yes?
Yeah.
I assume. Okay, good. But dude, that opening scene, the D-Day scene, like just the idea of like knowing full well you are going to get a bullet through your fucking head any minute. Like you're gonna
If you're
land on this
lucky.
beach and there is a dude
Oh,
with a
man.
mounted MG42 waiting to split you in half. And not just you, but everyone around you instantly. Like they open up those boats and instantly just dead, like before you even get onto the beach. I wouldn't sign up for a job like that. I would never sign up for an imminent death job in the military, like where I know full well I'm just gonna run into combat and get fucking shot instantly.
You don't want to be on the
I'd
front
rather go for
lines?
like I'd rather be in like the Air Force. I'd rather be flying a plane around, do a fat line of coke and just crash it into a
Didn't your
opposing,
tweet get deleted because of that?
Yep, I got banned off of Twitter for 12 hours. They kicked me off Twitter for 12 hours because of that. I have a
I saw
screenshot of that
That
still.
was so fucking funny.
You got
I go onto
banned
Twitter.
off Twitter.
I went onto Twitter just like, and I couldn't post anything. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, sorry, you've been you're not allowed to do any. You're on like ghost mode. You get to like watch. You get to look at other people's tweets, but you can't do anything except for DM for 12 hours because of that one reply.
That was so funny.
So wait, hold on. I need a little bit more context. What happened?
I can try to find it. No, it's
Just-
deleted, but I can find the original tweet.
Because I did not see this happen at all, and now I'm really
How
upset.
long ago did this go down?
Not that long ago. I tweeted. Oh, this is the one. I said, why is the fate of humanity in the hands of a few man babies? Super relieved World War III is on the horizon. And then Justin replies, which branch you joining? I want to die in a foxhole with my boo. And then to which I replied, which isn't there anymore because it got deleted. Which branch? Oh, I said Air Force. I'm going to hop in a plane, do a fat line of coke, and fucking crash into a building and die that way. And they just straight up deleted it. They're like, nope. And then you can see your reply to it. It says, I call shotgun. But the original tweet's deleted. You just see the reply.
Fucking beautiful. Oh my god.
That was so goddamn funny.
And then it says, this tweet violated the Twitter rules. Yeah, okay. All right. Fucking Russia
Arbitrary
defenders.
bullshit made up rules.
Putin
I-
advocates.
I've
Justin,
seen
you-
more footage on Twitter, but that's not allowed? All right.
Justin, you asked me, you're like, hey, what branch you joining? And I'm like, okay, Justin's just, fucking around. Sure, I'll answer. I didn't know you were trying to get people banned off fucking Twitter. But,
I think it was my reply that got me.
yeah. But I still think that's so
The
fucking funny,
building
though.
that got you in trouble.
I don't
That's
even
funny.
remember what I said verbatim. It was just like along the lines of that.
I think
and
you
it
said
was-
you're gonna fly it straight into Moscow and take some commie
Oh,
bastards with
yeah.
you or something.
I said
Oh
I
my
said like I'm
God.
gonna get in a plane, do a line of coke, crash into the Capitol, and die.
Take some commies with me or something.
Yeah, that was the premise, and that Twitter did not like
Yeah,
that.
they did not like that. Not at all.
It doesn't matter to me. Not using Twitter for 12 hours. I barely use Twitter anyways. It's like whatever.
That's fair.
Fuck Twitter.
Probably a good respite.
Twitter is like the internet
Twitter's
as a whole is
toxic.
just a cancer.
It really is.
Should have never been invented.
The only things that are worse than Twitter are like 4chan, Reddit. What else is worse? That's not like the dark web. I don't know. That might be it.
Those Anon Nude sites, have you guys seen those?
What nudes? What?
No, so this is not like an interesting thing. This is like a fucked thing. What it is
Well,
that,
hang on. Tell me first, and then I will decide on this one, Carson.
all right. So what it is that there's these sites, and they look kind of like 4chan sites, and like it's the same format. They're like anonymous thread posts. And what it is that there's different posts, like threads for different areas, like different states, different cities, zip codes, like whatever. And it's just dudes looking for leaked nudes of girls. So it's like, all right, one, you're looking for leaked nudes. That's already fucking weird. Two, like half these chicks are usually fucking underage. And three, it's like, imagine that's you or your fucking friend and you go on there and there's just people fucking thirsting over you. Like CJ Fury, she messaged, like I taught her how to look up her name on Google. And the first fucking thing that popped up was a thread of dudes trying to find her nudes online. And it's like, oh my God, that is so fucking like cringy and terrifyingly disgusting.
Porn is free, man.
Right? It's like, and that's the thing I don't get. It's like,
I'm always saying that, dude, to everyone who pays for porn.
and yeah, I've never paid for an OnlyFans and I never fucking will. Like, sorry. It's, you know, the only OnlyFans I think anyone should ever pay for is Justin's. Because even then, it's like, that's, you know, that's custom drawn content.
Yeah, that shit's expensive as fuck to make.
But it's like, to me, that is like the cringiest part on surface level internet that there is people blatantly trying to get, you know, leaked nudes of other people, especially underage ones. Like, they're straight up, it's like looking for so and so from like this high school, and it's like,
what?
You fucking what now, bud? Have a seat.
From account, totally not a teacher.
Oh my God. Like,
wow.
Because I mean, internet's a fucking scary place. We've all heard like the horror stories of the dark web, deep web, shit like that. And I mean, knowing you fuckers, you probably at one point went onto the fucking like Onion Tour websites. But
I've been on bestgore.com. You ever been on that website?
Oh yeah.
It is like, I don't even have to describe it. I don't need to. If you've been there, you've been there.
The name
there in middle school.
Kind of explains it.
Yeah, it is pretty self-explanatory.
I lived there in middle school, and I'm pretty sure that has a significant part of how fucked up I am today. But
oh God,
it was...
or meat spin.
Classic.
I've been on that
lemon
one.
party.
Not in the same category
Classic.
at all. But
I know what he's talking about though. I've been on that website.
Well, I mean, like, yeah,
buddy
that's just a shock site. Like, you have Meat Spin, you have Goatsy, but then you have like all those classic shock internet videos. One Man, One Jar, Two Girls, One Cup. Mr. Hands was a horrible one.
Classics.
Good
Mr.
guys,
Hands was the one with the horse.
I don't know that one.
I can name a million of
There was
those.
a video where
Oh, yeah.
like two or three kids just straight up murdered again with
The hammer one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was the Pain Olympics. Do you guys
remember
remember
that.
that one?
One guy, one horse. All I need to say about that, it's pretty self-explanatory, but that guy died after that video.
Is that the guy that got
Mr.
fucked
Hands.
by the horse?
Yeah.
He died, dude. The thing was so long that it literally penetrated like his vital organs and killed him.
No.
So there's actually context to that story too, which is not. It doesn't make it any better, but it's like, wow. Apparently, this guy and his friends would go out there and do that pretty often to all the fucking animals that were out on this area.
Oh.
And they never like went all the way with an animal until this one time, and they're like, well, we're gonna record it.
That's
And then
smart.
it just so happens that they're recording it when the horse decides to, the horse is like, you know what, bet, and also partakes, and really fucked up the guy, and he died like 2 days later of internal bleeding.
That's nice. Good for him.
My God. And there's always a even worse story behind these videos than what's actually like in the video. It seems like there's always, these people obviously are very, very disturbed. So there's always some background story that makes you want to jump out your window.
The thing is that like I bet a majority of those people are like white collar accountants. Like
Probably.
I feel like it's always like the white collar people who are like tried to live like the most vanilla public lifestyle.
Yeah.
That are the ones getting into the weirdest like shock value shit.
They they need an outlet, you know what I mean? Like they need to get their weirdness out in one way or
And they
another.
didn't get invited to the island, so they got to do something. Not everybody can get, front row tickets on the Lolita Express.
Lolita Express. I fucking hate that. That was a word I never needed to hear again.
I'm gonna start
Every time
my
I
own
think of
pedophile island. They seem to make money.
They had
They had
when
cool
you say things
temples
like
on
that,
it.
dude.
Did you see the cool temple he had on that fucking island? He had the president. He had Prince Andrews flying there.
You're talking about Epstein Island? Yes.
Yeah, pedophile
I actually didn't even get a. I thought he had multiple. No, he didn't have multiple islands. He had multiple like houses on the island, though, right?
Yeah, there's like a cool ass temple.
I don't remember that. I remember watching the doc though on. I think it's on Netflix, right?
Apparently had a place in Miami too, and he diddled a bunch of people there too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
it's fucking
a great
weird.
guy, I would say.
How did he?
I have concerns about you.
What?
The
I'm
Catholic
a
Church
businessman doing business.
I have concerns about Epstein's death still.
Yeah,
I
he did
don't
not
think he
kill
killed himself.
Well, didn't that fucking like one of the people who is associated with also just mysteriously hanged themselves the other day? Like there was another one.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like
in the French prison.
Bill Clinton.
yeah, it's like
Hillary
But-
strikes again.
it's like oh my god, guys, come on. It's like there's no way in hell it's a coincidence. At this point everyone knows. It's just that there's never been such a big show of fuck you, I'm rich and powerful. I will literally do whatever I want than that.
Yeah.
So the government would have done that, right? That's the government doing that.
I think there's a shadow. I think there's like a bunch of shadow government shit. I do believe that there's like a bunch of rich people that kind of control shit. I think it's them.
Like the Illuminati.
No, maybe not the Illuminati. Maybe kind of like, you know, Rockefellers and other rich,
Like
really
the
people.
Illuminati.
Yeah, I do believe there is something like that out there. 100%.
Not to talk about zombies, because this isn't like zombies anymore, right? But the zombie storyline actually has a lot of Illuminati in it that a lot of people don't even know about. Yeah,
Like back in
like in
World War
Ascension,
Black Ops 1, yeah.
dude, the Illuminati triangles are on all the TVs, or at least the one TV by one of the landers. And I always used to see like all this Illuminati shit, and I was like, obviously at the time when I was playing that map when it came out, I was like 11. I obviously didn't know what it meant, but now that I'm looking back on it, I'm like, dude, the Illuminati definitely like, forget about zombies. The Illuminati definitely has like, whether or not it's called that or it's like an official organization or not, there's definitely like a higher power than us, like that are just like, I'm not talking about like God. I'm talking about
Running
like
shit
people,
from the
like
shadows.
higher than like what we like, higher than the president. You know, higher than what we like believe is the highest it gets. You know what I mean?
You hear all the time like, oh, the president's just a puppet, but it's like, yeah, we know. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. Didn't like, you guys remember when Alex Jones infiltrated that fucking, oh God, this is so long ago. It was one of those things where like, I'll put another coin in the Alex Jones was right jar, but it like infiltrated like this group of people that would go into the woods, and it was like ex-presidents and shit, and they would do like these rituals and dances and stuff in the middle of the fucking woods.
Beyonce was involved. I remember that.
And he got in there and like recorded it all.
I don't put much stock.
Alex
Do you think
Jones
they're-
is crazy, but he's right about a lot of shit.
No, he's a con artist.
He's right about a lot of shit, man.
I do think he's smarter than people give him credit for. I'll say that. I don't. He sounds really dumb. Like
Oh,
he
yeah.
sounds dumb, but he's really not that stupid. Like he kind of didn't he build like an empire? What is it called? Infowars or whatever. I mean, wasn't that his? Wasn't he like the fucking the golden goose of that operation? Like he's clearly not stupid, right?
False flag.
No, like he's definitely not stupid by any sense of the word. It's that he is a very marginalized, you know.
He says
internet
stupid
celebrity.
things. That's the better thing.
Well,
Bohemian
so-
Grove, that's what it was. Bohemian Grove. Yeah, look into that. Yeah, let me pull this up. So it was it's a compound that in
Beyonce.
California, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like kind of in the woods, and it's a 2-week encampment of some of the most prominent men in the world. And Alex Jones managed to get in there, and like they were doing like some weird ritual shit, and like Reagan and like a bunch of former ex-presidents or something was there. There's a YouTube video on it that's interesting to watch, or maybe it wasn't Reagan. I don't know. It was a president that I remember watching. I watched this forever ago, but it's a nice little
Reagan.
watch on YouTube. Like
Reagan was the 80s,
a bunch
right?
of ex-presidents were there and shit.
Reagan had dementia.
I don't fucking know.
1988.
That was just the
That was
first
a
president
con.
that came to my mind.
No, but
Congratulations,
yeah.
man. The fact that you believe he had dementia means that their entire ploy worked on you. Get fucking.
I think our current
fucked up.
president has dementia.
100%.
I watched this fucking video. I think it was Donut Operator reacting to it on TikTok or some shit. but it was them. No, it was Ben Shapiro. It was Ben Shapiro was reacting to
I know
this
exactly
like
the one you're
meme.
talking about.
Yeah, and they're like, it's a voiceover of Biden landing on Air Force One, and they're like talking about it. Like, remember, he gets lost easily. To like keep him, hold that point, and you have the Secret Service guy standing in front of him, like pointing where he needs to go, and steps out of his way. Biden just walks right the fuck past the door. Just starts walking through the middle of the fucking yard.
He's just walking
they're
in
like-
the grass.
They're like, all right, we're gonna need a pretty woman or a small child that smells nice to go ahead and help distract him. I'm like, oh my god.
I could see Biden just out in the front lawn in the morning, and then the security guards come out, and they're like, he's just on he's on all fours on the ground, just sniffing the grass. The guy walks up to him, it's just like, Joe, what are you doing? Just sniffing this grass here.
There's a
Back
child
inside
around.
short, like he sniffs those women's hair.
I love the smell of a fresh cut lawn in the morning.
And the smell of a 9-year-old
Did you hear
girl's
his
fucking
State of the
fresh haircut.
Union when he called the Ukrainians Uranians?
No, it was
That
Iranians.
I thought you said Uranians.
Oh, that is
No, it was-
really painful.
No, he was like Iranians. And they're like Iraq?
And then you see like what's her face in the background, like Uranians. you guys elected a fucking retard for president.
I don't.
All because we didn't want mean tweets.
I don't like Biden at all. I hate his policy. But I mean,
His taxes suck ass. I noticed.
oh well.
Tax
yeah.
plan.
I haven't paid my
Just the
taxes yet, but
principle
we're about to fucking find out.
I paid mine.
Oil
Not as kind as
policy,
Trump
but
was to me. That department.
I do think there's, if you look at some of Trump's speeches, it's just as bad.
But Trump was entertaining. That's the difference.
Yes, that's the key factor.
He was trying to be like, listen, if he retard or not, he was entertaining. Biden's he looks like an old man up there that someone get grandpa down. He's off his meds again.
I mean, ideally, neither of those guys in a perfect world would be the leader of the free world, right? Maybe someone a little more competent than both of those guys, but
Really had
Yeah.
some good pickings for last
They-
election.
it's not like we have many choices.
They had and have unilateral authority to launch on command the United States military or nuclear arsenal. The buck stops with them. They give the order, and within 15 minutes, there's missiles in flight. So, I believe it was Henry Kissinger, Secretary of State under Nixon. Nixon basically got drunk, and according to Kissinger, he had to go to some of the top generals to say, if Nixon calls you all mad and wants to either nuke North Korea or Vietnam, go through me first.
That's fucking hilarious.
It's really funny.
Got
And the
drunk as
reason-
shit. Yeah. Fuck Japan. Get him another one.
That shouldn't be a lot. Like, one singular person should not be able to just end the world. You know what I mean? Like, one person shouldn't get shit-faced and be like, I want to fucking nuke this guy. And then they're going to get nuked back, and then the world ends, really.
You know, let Brazil really have it. Fuck them.
Random as fuck, just Brazil.
Canadians.
Fuck.
I'm not worried about Brazil. I'm worried about Argentina, because I think Hitler is still alive there.
Yeah, he's frozen. Just like Walt Disney.
No, he's dead by now, but
No, he's frozen, man. They cut off his head. He's frozen.
Pause.
I
Flag
don't
on the
believe
play.
it.
Traveling. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's
I don't
hooked up
believe
to
in
life
many,
support frozen.
conspiracy. Do you guys believe in conspiracies? Because I don't
Yes.
believe in most of them, but I believe in one in particular, and it's the one that a lot of the Nazis. Well, this has been
not a
confirmed
conspiracy.
largely. Yeah, that's not a conspiracy. A lot of the Nazis did move to South America, but the big conspiracy that Hitler moved to Argentina, or in that area, I think that's highly possible. Like, who was there to monitor him when he died? It was his wife that killed
Listen,
herself too.
the Russians were, as we know, Tim, you're just being stupid. The Russians were very, very credible. You don't know what you're talking about. The
Yeah.
Soviets were very credible.
Yeah, they definitely sealed the deal on him, and there's definitely proof of that, and we definitely can't question that, right?
No, don't
Well,
question it. It's a better
so-
story that he died, and we have,
Well, you have to remember the U.S., we only took the absolute, undisputed, 100% best facts back then. That's why we let all those fucking, all the Japanese scientists, or whatever the fuck that group was that did all those like.
No, not Derive. 7, 6,
Division
something.
9.
Division 9, 7. There's also another 761 or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about, where like they were literally like sawing
Like-
people in half and then
Yeah.
reconnecting them to try
They
to make like.
didn't, Carson. The
Siamese
Japanese didn't rape hundreds of thousands of women in China. That's propaganda.
I'm not even talking about the rape. I'm talking about the science experiments that the U.S. pardoned everyone involved for the sake of getting the results, and from those results, we realized, hey, it turns out if you cut off a man's head and then reattach it with staples, he doesn't come back
happens.
to life.
The results were worthless.
That was basically what we got. And so that's why I have full faith that the U.S. will always make the best decision when it comes to, other countries after war.
Yeah, we're genius.
Japanese government didn't release the full unredacted list personnel in that unit until within the last 10 years. Basically, they made it so everybody on that list should have or was already dead before they made that public. The other thing,
So
with
many war
regards to, if Hitler got away, I don't think that's realistic. For as much as the Russians did shady shit, there's no doubt in my mind that if Stalin or the NKVD could get a hold of Hitler, that they would have turned him into some public exhibition, where, I don't know, they'd probably lock him up in a zoo and leave him to go mentally insane.
Yeah. Also, I didn't even consider this part, which kind of like pokes a big hole in my theory here. Hitler's health towards his, in his final days, his health was declining rapidly. Like he was like old and not doing well. Like he was probably going to die soon anyways, that sort of deal. Like maybe he would have had another 5-10 years. But so maybe the idea of him killing himself is almost just like kind of just speeding up the process. So he probably didn't mind just killing himself at that point. So that theory would make more sense that way. But just I don't know. There's too many Nazis going to South America for me to not look at that and be like.
I just think the Russians didn't, I think they didn't know if they had Hitler because there was a burned body, and I think they did evidence, or I don't know. There was something I watched about it a while ago, but
We'll never know.
You'll never know.
Well, it's probably one of those things as well where it's like the same thing with like the Ghost of Kiev in like with the Ukrainian conflict right now is that there's been so many reports that the Ghost of Kiev was killed, but then the government's like, nah, he's still alive. He's still out there fighting. It's like at this point, realistically, that fighter jet who apparently got an ace and like had all these confirmed kills in a certain day, more than likely it's not real. More than likely he's not a real person. If he is somehow a real person, he's probably fucking dead by now. However, that is like a spirit, like, it's a motivator. Like that is something that gives the people hope and all that. So even if they, Hitler wasn't dead, them announcing that he was dead was such a big moment for the entire war. It was like, fuck it, let's do it. So it's very possible that's also what happened, and they just wrote it out from there.
I think it's the Germans. They were the ones that announced it first. The Allies wanted to take everybody in high command they could alive to trial. But it was a radio broadcast, and it basically had Hitler had fell in combat.
Okay.
Out of his bunker, something like that.
Bye.
Heroic last stand. When really he's like 50, 58, 59 years old, losing his mind from Parkinson's.
Hell yeah, that's what's
It's one of
up.
those things you'll never, like that and the JFK. It's like, we know, we know that Lee Harvey Oswald wasn't doing it alone, but it's like you'll never know. And that bothers me to this day.
Yeah.
That's one of those
Yeah.
things where it's like, I don't really consider it a conspiracy, but it's like,
Yeah, but
know.
you'll never know for like 100% that the government killed him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. Back to the whole like Cold War thing, like that era. Isn't it like crazy how not the Cold War? I didn't mean the Cold War. World War II. Isn't it crazy how when the Germans were disbanded, literally like the Russians closing in on the east, us closing in on the west, we would literally just rip apart we would take their scientists and just like divide them in half. We would just take their smartest scientists that were still alive. We would take half, Russia would take half, And then that's how the fucking Cold War happened, right? Like, these scientists
We
were
got
just
better
plucked out of
Germans than
Germany.
you.
Yeah, these German scientists were like on a whole nother level, and they were doing so many drugs too, by the way. But these guys were wired, and these guys were responsible for like a lot of the nuclear warfare that we're panicking about today. I mean, these are the guys that that got divvied up. It's just crazy to think about that, like how the world just got completely split in half that way, which still has lingering effects today. Clearly.
Hell yeah.
And there's stuff that goes on for generations. There's even like a type of deer. It's deer, elk. It's some sort of where based on generations, even those that were born at that time, the herds will not pass over the same areas that there were electric border fences when it was still East Germany versus West Germany and the rest of the Warsaw Pact. Even though now all those electric fences are down, they still don't cross those lines.
Ain't that weird how that shit happens?
What is that,
That's
like
when you get taught
superstition or
lessons so
something?
fucking hard that it literally spans through generations.
Get fucked.
Yeah. You ever hear that theory that like your kids, like if something bad happens to you, like psychologically when you're when you're really young and something horrible happens to you psychologically, it can like affect your offspring, or you like it can affect like genetically. Like I'll give you an example. I was listening to this on a podcast once. Like, so they were doing an experiment with rats, and they would like physically abuse these rats for like for an experiment, like experimental purposes. They would see like how the rats would like react to. I feel like I'm not giving this story justice. But basically, these rats would when they reproduce, like their offspring would have like this tick that they had when they were like, you know, like if they would get like a little stab or something, that their offspring like would have like
Would react like
I'm
the
just gonna
same way somehow.
Yeah. It's hard. It's really hard for me to put this into words, but like basically, just like it relates back to what you were talking about. Like you like if your offspring like can have the same sort of like psychological like snap that you may have had. Like I'll try to look this I'll try to look this up.
It's
you're
literally
not born
generational
with
trauma
it.
is what it is.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was trying to say. Like generational trauma, like that is exactly what I was trying to say. That it's a real thing. It's kind of shocking.
Yeah, no, my kids are fucked. I'm gonna give them trauma, and they gonna be born with trauma. They don't have a chance. No
Fucking
chance.
hate you so goddamn much.
Vicious cycle. It'll
Maybe
never end.
they'll be born with trauma, and then I'll inflict more trauma, and it'll cancel out like 2 negatives. Then I'll get like a little Elon Musk child. It'll work out.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm doing. I'm a genius.
Elon Musk has, I think he has autism or Asperger's or something.
I
Yeah,
think it's
probably.
Asperger's.
Everyone
I
thinks
think he
he's
actually confirmed he did have Asperger's.
Yeah, something like that. His brain works in a different way than most like even intelligent people.
That's the thing. Like a lot of those like crazy super genius people, they usually are like that. It's
They're
like
a
they
little
have
retarded. They got a
Most
little bit
people
of the autism.
I mean, that's why they call it a spectrum, because like some people are severe, some people are not. You know, some people are so mild you wouldn't be able to tell. That's how it is.
I saw something, and it was like a curve of like intelligence with like genders and shit, and women all kind of stayed around the average, and men were like the outliers. So like the really retarded people, all men, but also like the really fucking smart people were all men. And it was like a little interesting little spectrum that showed like all the women were mainly like gathered around the center, and all the men were kind of like displayed out. And just showed you that men are either retarded or were really smart.
I completely believe that too.
That was like the reason like why men were like mainly like the like pioneers of shit and like the inventors of stuff, was because we just got lucky that he wasn't a retard.
That who wasn't a retard?
Yeah, he got on the other side.
Dude, I think men and women are equal but opposite in terms of intelligence, because women are intelligent in ways that we're not, and we're intelligent in ways that women are not. I think
I'm
it's
way
I
smarter
think
than
there's a
my
fine
wife.
balance. Like
Yeah.
Lisa's smarter than me when it comes to like micromanaging and like finer details, But when it comes to like bigger picture stuff and like grand scheme stuff, I would say men are more inclined with that. You know what I mean?
Is she good with directions?
Not bad.
Bad?
Not worse than me. Just as good as me, honestly. If not, maybe slightly better. I mean, we use GPS. We use GPSs for a lot of places we go, so it's like hard to fuck that up. But she's not bad with directions. Oh, is Heather bad with directions?
She's directionally retarded.
Oh,
Like we'll go to a place many times, and then she just doesn't know how to get there. So I'm like, all right, go to the street, turn left, go. I'm like, she is so bad with directions.
If you tell me like take a ride on 3rd Street or whatever, I'm gonna forget. I'm not gonna make it. But once I get to a place once, I could probably get there again. No problem.
Yeah, like I don't know
Like-
street names, but like I know how to get to places.
I mean, like for crying out loud, you and me, like completely off our asses, walked a mile away from the hotel in Vegas, and on the way back, we were like, "Wait, we're supposed to cross here." Like, hold on, we took a detour like around this area.
Yeah,
earlier.
we
should
could
probably
remember
not do
that
this
shit.
time. And like, we weren't even in fucking coherence.
It's a good time. Good times.
It was.
Now that Tim's
So-
21,
let's go back.
yeah, we need to go back.
I'm
back
totally
and
on board with
Manly
that.
we'll get the same place, so Manly can sit in his room all weekend.
The only thing that'll be different this time is that I can legally buy booze because I still did some of the games, and I still got into a dispensary at 20 years old.
Man, that security guard was so cool.
We need to
Dude was literally Shaquille O'Neal, like the most intimidating human being I've ever seen in my life. This guy, and he's literally yelling at me like, "Get the fuck over here! Show me your card!" I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm not 21 years old. Please don't freak out." And he just goes
behind him, like, come on.
me and Toro just standing there. He goes, just nods his head, points his head in, and we're like,
You good?
"Oh shit, cool."
You good, white
Didn't
boy?
expect that.
Gives you like one of
You
these when you
good.
walk by, just fucking fakes you out.
I would have flinched. I would have fell backwards.
Oh, I would have cried. I would have just shit my pants right there.
He
Would've won.
he was a very intimidating man. Really, really cool though. Like, no argument there. The guy was pretty fucking baller.
I want to go back and see Black
Yeah.
Jesus.
Man, that was so
He's a cool
cool.
guy.
At the pool.
Yeah, Black Jesus.
Who are we talking about?
You don't
I was
remember
at
that
the
guy
pool.
that was running around? He was drunk as shit, claiming he was Black Jesus.
How
saw
do
him
I
at the
not
strip.
remember that?
He had
I
a
don't
We
robe.
saw him
remember
at the
that.
strip the first time, but then we saw him again at the pool, and he was just wearing this like huge, like, what was it, like purple and gold or something
It was
like
the
that?
robe from Caesar's Palace that I wanted to buy, but it
Yeah.
was $100.
Yeah, it was like a silk robe, and the guy was just like, "I'm Black Jesus," and he was just like, "Oh man, he was."
You
off
are
his
Black
shit.
Jesus! Yeah!
Dude, we hyped him up.
Cool guy. Yeah, we need to go back.
So when you guys were in Vegas, did you see? Was there like a specific image that you saw in your like a snapshot moment that you saw in Vegas that was like, that's Vegas? You know what I mean? Like that right there is Vegas.
Yeah, the strip lit up at night.
Yeah,
That was
that's
me.
it's a pretty big one. I saw this fucking guy stumbling out of the hotel room with a bottle of fucking Jack Daniels. This guy was literally like, I don't know how he's walking. He was just like, and just like, I think he dropped the bottle on the ground and like, I don't think he collapsed, but he like fell to his knees like by this garbage bin right outside of the hotel we were at. And he was just, I was looking at him. I'm like, yeah, this is Vegas right here. This is Vegas right
Makes sense.
This guy's dying right next to me.
Nah,
Manly, you're muted.
for me. Good job, man. Oh, he's
Still muted. Nope, can't
No,
hear
Your
you.
microphone's not working. Well, you work on that.
Unplug and replug.
There was 2 moments in Vegas for me where it was like, this is what the fuck is up. One was while we were in ZWC. It was I went up top when Turbo was interviewing Austin, like Red Austin.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like right as they finished up, and like I'm up in that little VIP balcony, and I got to look down, and this was like, it obviously wasn't a very big crowd, but this was like the fullest it had been. You and Justin were both like on stage doing your thing, and I'm looking around, and there's just like, it was just like such an awesome vibe because like all the lights, all the like they had the music, y'all were getting ready to play a game. I was like, this is fucking sick. And the other time was the same night, Justin, where we made it back to the hotel and we sat outside. We sat at that. Still don't know what building that was. It was the one between our hotel and the one next to us. But we sat outside on like that little sidewalk and just looked at everything for a bit. And I was like, this is nice. I've been reliving that moment in my head ever since, man. That was like bliss.
So, first
Okay.
night coming in,
Yeah, your hotel, yeah.
hotel, we're we got our luggage. We're walking in. There's a guy.
Who were you with again? Were you with
It was with Justin.
Me and
Ark was with
Autismo.
you,
Yeah.
Carson, right? Autismo was in your room? Confused.
He stayed in my room, yeah.
Oh, as for who stayed, I was by myself. But
Oh, okay. Autismo
we-
was with you though. Gotcha.
yeah, we were walking in all together. I think Justin and I, Ark, etc. We were walking in, and there's a guy outside sitting on a bench smoking a cigarette, and he's dressed up in women's clothing, wearing high heels and stockings. And I'm like, I expected no less.
I remember that guy. Shout out to that guy. Living his life. Or her life, whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Those mornings when before the events would begin, like when we'd walk into the esports arena, just stand there, all the lights, and like we would just be drinking at like 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. or whatever we pulled up there, and we would just be that atmosphere. I wish I could do that again. I think they're doing
fun.
a ZWC4 too.
Yeah,
I
we're not
think
going to
they
be
are.
invited.
I don't think so.
No.
But if they do invite me,
I mean, let's be
I'll
honest. Here.
go.
They're gonna invite you guys because
I don't really want to get
who
invited.
else are they gonna invite?
Dude, if it's a free hotel and a free flight and it's
That's-
organized this time, then
I want to go, but I don't want to be a part of the
event.
event. If that
Yeah,
makes
I'm not
sense.
gonna compete. Yeah, I'm not gonna be a competitor.
Well, then what if we went anyways and just showed up like Noah did?
I mean,
But
they
then it's
didn't
not
pay
free.
for Noah to be there. Though.
Yeah, it's not. It's not
Yeah,
free
but
that way.
It's not
I want it to
terribly
be
expensive
free.
when you book far in advance, like $60 a night.
Yeah, but that's not free. That's
Huh,
the thing we
but
like is it's free. No, I think I
Yeah,
would.
that's not
I wonder if
understanding this part.
I wonder. I hope they do it like in Miami next time, so that way I can just drive over there.
They would never do that. They're gonna if they did a different city than the West Coast, like it would be
Probably
New
Texas.
York.
Or
be New York.
Oh, I thought it'd be like in Texas because that's where a lot of those guys are.
I think
Texas is,
Matt.
like becoming the new Los Angeles in terms of YouTube content creators. So
That's because everyone's moving there, dude.
I'd be
Dude,
pissed if I
California
lived
is
there.
just moving to Texas. Like you guys are California now. At least
Austin,
Austin's bad. Everyone's moving there.
Austin and Dallas both, because Dallas is so. In terms of like content creator stuff, you have Austin, which is home to like OTK and Offline TV had some people there at one point, and all of Night Media is in Austin now. Well, most of Night Media. Night Media is what manages Preston, Mr. Beast, Google Foods, like all these like mega channels, and they're based in Austin. Preston himself and his company are in Dallas, and I think Mr. Beast has a company in Dallas also. It's Austin and Dallas are like the big places to be at this point. So it's just because we have no
Yeah.
state tax.
I think they would do it in New York possibly because
I'm not
NC
going to
Sports
New York.
Talk. Turbo already lives there. He could just walk there. Yeah, he could be the fucking color comm guy on the sidewalk. Just be like, all right, now you just point a microphone in everyone's face. But anyways, Matt lives in New Jersey, I think. And he was talking about like if they were going to do an East Coast edition, they would do it probably in New York.
Yeah.
I don't know about in the
I'd
city
pass
or
on
not,
that
but
one. I don't want to go to New York ever.
I'm actually so close to New York, I could drive there actually pretty easily.
You still need
So
to make
I'd
them
probably
pay for
go.
your flight. Tell them pay for your flight.
Just
Pay for
not
my
go.
fucking hotel room, and then I'll show up.
Oh man.
Good times.
I know you guys don't care like at all, but there's huge sports news coming up. Like Russell Wilson just got traded to the Broncos,
No way.
or is gonna get traded. I know. Do you follow any sports in any capacity?
I
Okay.
play them. I just don't follow them.
Okay, all right. I'll save that. I'll save that for someone else. Who cares? Fucking
Well,
asshole.
We go play a
So-
sport that it's way more fun.
I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers. Didn't he confirm he's going back to the Packers?
Yeah. So does that one other guy too. Yeah.
$50 million a year. 4 years, 200 million, dude.
$50 million a year
Christ.
to slap dudes' asses.
How much in taxes?
A lot.
Man, so that was the
Yeah.
one thing that's like I never thought I saw coming. This was the first year I ever paid taxes, right? And like even then, like I got it knocked down really low because I, was just smart on my deductions and everything. But I never thought in my life I would within a year get a job that would bump me into an entire new tax bracket.
Eye opener, isn't
happened. Yeah, that happened, and I was just like, this is some bullshit. I went from getting like, I'm not even kidding, like 2 years ago, my tax return was like $7,000.
Now
And this
it's
year I paid.
yeah.
I
That's
paid.
not fun, is it?
No, and I'm like,
Literally everything. I'll have to get
bullshit.
together with you one time because I write off everything.
dude, so I don't know the exact number, but I was talking to my boss about it because I mean, he's a mega YouTuber, so there's a lot of income, which means a lot of taxes. He was telling me that his accountant, who is also the accountant for like some mega like Fortune 500 companies and is also the personal accountant of other mega YouTubers. Apparently, after he did my boss's taxes, he also sent him a text. He's like, I'm going to Mexico for a week. Don't text me." My boss literally, he said, "Hey guys, I just got my tax return. I'm not going to be around for the next day." Like, he wasn't either. Like, he got offline and we did not see him for 24 solid hours. And then yesterday, or like a couple days, he goes, "I just paid my taxes. No one talked to me." It was just like, oh my god, I'm not ready.
I pay mine quarterly, and that's a lot better than paying it at the end of the year. Because now I don't owe anything, and I haven't done my taxes yet, so I think I might get a little bit money back because I think I overpaid.
Dude, get a CPA. I got a CPA now, and we do it quarterly. So
Yeah, I guess someone does mine for me
the
too.
fines at the end of the year get reduced that way.
Yeah, it's so much easier to pay it quarterly.
Do either of you guys have y'all shit set up going through a company or no?
What do you mean? Oh, our channels and shit? No, I've been wanting
like, are you going through
to.
an S corp or anything?
I've been wanting to. I just haven't done it.
From what I understand, setting yourself up as an S corp is like the absolute best thing you can do business wise, like for YouTuber stuff.
Tax rates for corporations, I believe, are 21% federally. Compared to, if you're making 100,000 a year, or I think it's a little bit over 100,000, it gets up to the 30s.
All I know is that everything I've been told is like S corp, and like everyone I know that does YouTube, it's like making sure they have all their S corp shit set up.
Yeah, I don't make
So-
enough to do that right now.
Yeah.
I have no idea how any of that works. I feel totally overwhelmed by fucking the financial aspect of YouTube. I know I could be doing better with my money, but I don't really know how to. Like, I don't know where to begin with that. It's like one of those things where it's like, well, everyone's
One of these
giving me
days-
advice, and I'm like, I don't know what to.
I imagine one of these days, Tim, you'll actually finally bite the bullet, and you're like, I'm actually gonna go talk to an accountant and figure out what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, well, I do online, which is why it's tough, because
Mhm.
I talk to a guy online. He never fucking emails me half the time. So that's annoying. But yeah, I think I gotta go talk to someone who knows YouTube, and in person probably.
Well, I know that I was just talking about my boss and how his account does like all these big YouTuber accounts also. The boss has zero idea what YouTube is. Not the boss, the accountant has zero idea what YouTube is. Like they're like, all right, you make income. It's coming from these companies in the form of sponsorship deals. That's it. Like that's, not just sponsorship deals, but like even AdSense could be considered like, a sponsorship type situation. And they're, that's what these guys work off of. It's like, all right, this is how this all goes.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, if you tell an accountant, if you tell someone, oh, I'm a YouTuber, they're going to be like, I don't know what the fuck that means. But if you tell someone it's like, oh, I work in like online media marketing or online, media creation, they're usually like, oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you
Yes.
mean. The whole YouTuber title throws people off because they're like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Even though I
It's
think
all
it's pretty
about finding the
self-explanatory.
Probably carries a lot less stigma than OnlyFans.
I don't know about that anymore, honestly. Like, OnlyFans is definitely one of those things where it's like, it's gotten to the point where it's like ubiquitous. Like, everyone fucking knows what it is. So,
Wish I was a woman. I'd be rich.
Would you?
Yeah. I'd know how I'd
Just-
I'd know how exactly how I'd play it out. My OnlyFans would be making so much. My Twitch would be popping.
You've been putting a
I
lot
have
of
no
thought into this?
morals. I'd be shoving shit up my ass. And nobody wants to see me do that. I'm not cute.
I've watched enough Amaranth. I know how to succeed.
Yeah, you gotta. I know. I got the system down. I know how to do it.
OnlyFans bitches living on recruit mode. Twitch streamers. Living on recruit mode.
Like I'll go to Twitch sometimes and I'll see all these girls like streaming with like 10 viewers. I'm like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. If I was you, I'd be top of the leaderboard, baby. You don't know what you're doing.
The leaderboard.
Yeah, honestly, like, I always avoid this conversation, but when it comes to just showing your naked self online for money, like, to be completely honest, I respect the hustle. I don't know if I really respect it though. You know what I mean? Like the idea.
I respect it in the way that if I was a woman, I'd be doing the exact same thing as them, so I can't show too much shade.
Yeah. Exactly. Like the hustle makes sense to me. It's like, okay, you got nice tits, show them to the world, make some money. Duh. Who wouldn't do that in that position if they, had the wherewithal to do it? But when I'm looking at that, I'm like, it's pretty fucking.
Not necessarily something that you would think you would be proud of.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I'm not. I mean, some people have to like legitimately work, and that's not really legitimately working, I guess.
It's one of those things where it's like, I respect that you do it. I would never do it, but it's like, you could say the same thing about like a lot of jobs where it's like, if you told me, hey, we need someone to be this fucking this plumber tool retriever where you're jumping into fucking sewer containers, grabbing wrenches and shit, like just a random job like that, I would never fucking do that personally. Like, absolutely fucking not.
Depends how much they paid.
And so, like, it's the same thing with, like, OnlyFans. It's like, okay, why wouldn't you do that? It's like, well, it's just not a job I would want myself to be doing. It's like, imagine telling your friends, like, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I dive in actual, pools of shit. But would you say that that's more respectful than OnlyFans? Because it's like,
Well, I think porn is different because like when people are like doing like that's like a physical act, like you're literally doing a thing to make money. If you just take a picture of your tits, like that, there's no effort in that, right? Like that's not effort, that's not work.
They got to get the lighting just right.
Like sex is work. Like you're physically working yourself, and that's like a thing. And you got to be a good. You don't have to be a good actor or actress, but it helps.
And has obviously never taken a S tier dick pic. There's no effort in this.
I haven't taken a dick pic in so long.
Same.
That's a lie.
Anyways,
I've seen your penis many times.
you have seen my penis many times.
I've seen my penis 3 times ever.
Once when I was born.
Once 5 minutes ago, and once 5 years ago.
5 minutes ago we were recording. Hold on. Someone rewind the footage.
Oh god damn it.
I hate it here.
So, what do you think's gonna happen with Russia? Do you think they're gonna take Ukraine?
I don't know. If you would have asked me when it first started, I would have been like, yeah.
Ukraine. I'm pretty sure the Ukraine has 1/10 of the military power of Russia, and they are holding their own right now. Like they are legitimately holding their own at the moment. Not for long. It's not sustainable for all that long, but
They're doing a lot better than I
are putting
thought.
up a goddamn fight because the Ukrainians are fighting for their lives. Like they're fighting for everything their existence, right? But the Russians aren't. They're just, when you're they're just trying to expand. Like they don't have the fight in them. They don't have that passion because they're just fighting to expand their empire. They're not fighting for their lives. So, I mean, the Ukrainians have more to fight for, and frankly, a lot of these Russian kids are just being thrown into the military. Like, I'm pretty sure I heard a story where these like 18-year-old kids that just graduated, like these kids that are coming right out of school, they're just getting like picked up and like they're being told that they're gonna go into training into the military, but then they're just being thrown into combat like with very little training, and these 18-year-old kids are just getting like fucking shot up. Like, I'm pretty sure Russia's not doing as well as they thought they'd be doing at this point.
Oh no!
I thought they would. I'm pretty sure everyone thought they would walk in and just steamroll them, but it's like
Germany through Belgium, right? Just fucking roll right through. But nah, that's not the case.
Well, Putin absolutely miscalculated the really the how shall I say,
ferocity.
The facade of Russian power has been shattered in the last 10, 12 days. I think eventually the Ukrainians, so long as there's not a revolution at home in Russia. I think eventually the Ukrainians will get ground down. They'll either get bombarded and sieged into the point that they're going to have to go to the negotiating table and give up some major concessions that they otherwise wouldn't have. But I think if Russia goes for the entire occupation bit outside of Crimea and Donetsk, I can't pronounce it. They're going to get ground down in an insurgency that's going to make Afghanistan in the 1980s look like a cakewalk.
Oh, yeah.
And eventually they're going to lose like that. They may win the military campaign.
They're not going to be able to hold it.
Yeah.
I think the
You're
only
way
way
too
this
fucking smart for
stops,
me.
and I've said this since day one, the Russian people have to do, like, the only... Putin's
They're
not
being
going
thrown in jail for protesting. Dude.
You have to do something, like, you have to get everyone to just rise up. That's the only way I think.
They're protesting. They're
You gotta
trying.
get more than
and
that.
Their
I feel
government
like-
is so like tyrannical. They're just throwing people in
Yeah.
jail, dude.
They don't care. I feel like the only way you're going to stop this is if the public gets up and does something about it. Other than that, I don't see this stopping.
Wouldn't be the
Here's-
first time there was a Russian revolt.
Here's the thing that scares me about Putin.
He's getting old. He's going to
Well,
die.
it's
He's
not
got his
that
hand on the
just
button.
it's not that he's just getting old.
He has Parkinson's.
And it's not that any unknown medical condition. Those certainly can definitely be contributing factors. My concern is Putin made a major miscalculation invading, and now his economy is essentially the Russian stock market has collapsed nearly 50 to 60% in the span of 2 weeks.
Roblox is worth more money than
Yeah,
Is it really?
currency. Yeah.
Are you fucking
Roblox? Yeah, it's worth
you
more than
fucking kidding
the
me?
ruble.
150 rubles is equal to $1, and the facade of Russian power has been shattered. He's getting stuck in a quagmire. He's lost thousands upon thousands of soldiers. What scares me is if there is a revolution at home, and he seriously feels like he is going to lose, either through a coup against him or whoever it may be. An animal is the most dangerous when it's cornered. And I kind of feel like Putin's the type of guy to say, fuck you, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna kill you all with me.
I 100% can see that.
And even if a significant portion of the Russian the strategic missile troops and the Air Force don't launch, the Navy, the submarines that are at sea for months at a time, they may not have been able to get the updated information to see that Putin's lost all support at home. And they may just get a launch order and say, we were on heightened tensions when we last got radio communication from Moscow. We're going to turn our keys.
It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Like, if it's just going to keep escalating and escalating, or...
I have a question for all of you though. If, and this is a big if, because there's nothing like this has ever happened in American history, but if we were to actually get nuked, which just saying that out loud is just kind of like, the fact that's even within the realm of possibilities, it's crazy. But where do you think it would be? Do you think it'd be the West Coast, the East Coast?
Yes, all of it. There's no way they send one nuke.
No, I think they would go for...
They got to pick somewhere though. They got to prioritize one area.
So I was actually...
There's
No, I feel like they would go after, like, strategic points.
DC?
Yeah, 100%.
no,
Like-
they're going for our nuclear warhead supply. 100%. They're not going to go for the fucking
don't think
nuclear
you-
powers. They're going to. Oh
Because
yeah,
those are
they're
all
going
in the middle of the U.S., out in random cornfields, way underground.
There's a fucking map out there that shows like the hotspots for nuclear targets like in the US. It's like, obviously like major cities, political infrastructures, but like the number one spots that's like this is where
Omaha.
they're probably gonna fucking go
Nebraska.
is like near where all of our fucking nuclear missile like silos are. It's like that's where they would fucking go 100% because even if they get fucking close to it, that's gonna cause enough devastation where we might not get to fire back.
So there's a fatal flaw in that type of strategy where if it's an intercontinental ballistic missile, you have launch detection radar that very quickly you will know where it's going to land based on the trajectory. And in doing so, you can get between 25 to 30 minutes notice before you have an impact. And that's really part of the reason, going all the way back to the beginning of the podcast when we were having the conversation of why does the president have unilateral authority to launch, and there's not a more
Checks and balances system sort of thing.
Yes, it's the system was put in place in the early years of the Cold War to make it so if there was a surprise attack and you've got literally 20 minutes before the entire command structure is decapitated, you want to use your nukes before you lose them. You want to preserve your retaliatory capability. So when you have a, how shall I say, when you're picking a target package, it's not just going to be what's going on in out in the middle of where our stockpiles are. Russia has 6,500 warheads. I believe about 1,500 publicly are stated to be ready to go, and the others are in various states of either decommissioning or in storage due to the various arms treaties that were put in place towards the end of the Cold War. So even if they hit all the targets, the big targets or the secondary targets are going to be big cities. It's going to be even civilian airports.
And a bunch of, basically almost the entire coast. Anywhere that they can land like we can ship out stuff is going to be hit. And I was talking to Heather about this, and I was like, we're kind of safe where we are because Tampa is way up north, and that's like one of the biggest shipping places. So that's going to get hit. Miami's going to get hit. We're kind of in that area where nothing happens. So I think we might be a little safe.
No, you're going to get Fallout regardless.
Yeah, I can deal with Fallout. I've played Fallout New Vegas.
Played that game before.
We're going to deal with that.
God, I hate you so fucking much.
Well, we want to get it direct, so I'm not going to get incinerated right off the bat, you know?
I haven't even played Fallout. I got to play that game and fucking catch up on my knowledge before this all goes down.
I fucking hate all of you so goddamn much.
I actually always wanted to get into that game. Truthfully.
There you go, Tim. New gaming.
I heard Fallout 76 was like garbage though.
Yeah, don't play that one.
Now that's one I bought for my brother for a Christmas gift. I'm like, oh my god, here's a new Fallout. Or my not my brother, my friend.
You must hate him.
I didn't know at the time how awful that game.
You must have really dislike
the reputation of that game was. Yeah.
Do you have a gun?
Do I have a gun? I want one. I don't have one yet.
You need to get one, dude, before
I know.
war begins.
It's just I have so many other pressing things in my life that I have to worry about before that. It's like
how difficult
I'm gonna get to it. Massachusetts has some of the strictest gun laws in the world. In this country, certainly. It's very difficult. You have to. Well, it's not like difficult, but it's a process. Like it's a very lengthy process. Pretty sure you have to go obviously take some courses. You know.
Well, when you would like a gun, international gun dealer up there.
Yes, sir. I'm probably like I was talking to a kid about this the other day. He had an LTC. And so he literally just had a gun. Like I was at my friend's house. This kid literally just pulled out a gun. He's just holding the gun. It wasn't loaded, obviously, but I'm like, how the fuck did you get that? And he showed me like there's this thing called like mass firearms.
Bear.
Man, imagine living in a state like that. Fuck that.
In Holliston, Massachusetts. I gotta go there, or I gotta like go on their website and like.
So you basically you take a class. I know this because I had my FFL originally in Massachusetts before they kind of royally screwed me and I went down to Florida. So if you're out of state, you go to Chelsea and Mass for the firearms record bureau to get a non-resident you would go to your police chief, you take a class, you know, you then bring in your certificate, you get fingerprinted. Generally, you're probably looking at 2-3 months for processing.
Is that just for a pistol? Or is that for anything?
No, this is for the license.
Oh, for the license.
Once you have the license, you can walk out same day. There's no waiting period.
Bro, fuck that.
Yeah, no. If I wanted a pistol,
we just go buy one.
Dude, I could walk down the street 2 blocks to a hardware store, say, "Hey, I see you have a pistol on the wall. Here's $500." They say, "Sign your name here. Here is a pistol," and then I walk away.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
basically
Texas.
all it is.
So much easier. Jesus Christ.
We don't get
can
mass
imagine
shootings here, but it comes at the cost of not being able to obtain guns especially easily.
You can't have a flamethrower shipped to your door.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Elon Musk used to just make didn't he make like 20,000 flamethrowers? And then when he sold out, he just sold out and he's just like, fuck it. Whoever has a flamethrower has it.
48 states, you can have a legitimate backpack flamethrower that shoots 110 feet.
That is ridiculous. That is so fucking long. Oh my god.
That's what she said.
No background check. As long as you're 18 or older, you can get it. Even if you were hearing voices in your head, legally.
Oh yeah.
But heaven forbid I have a machine gun.
Exactly.
I don't know what a human being would do with a flamethrower.
Take a trip
in
to
a practical
Vietnam.
sense. Like in what would you do with that other than set everything on fire?
Hang on.
Biscuit.
I'll send you the website.
Flambe a steak.
Well, FPS Russia did that with a pig.
It's a good video.
Yeah, and they also sell napalm.
I don't fuck with fire.
Do they sell landmines? Can I buy a couple of those?
I don't fuck with that.
No, those are unfortunately
Install those in
regulated.
my backyard.
What the hell? Why
I mean, you can't buy them, but you
Oh
can make
man,
them.
like here's the question I keep getting asked. What's the update on the STG?
We're getting there. Slow going, but we're getting there.
Any new updates since the last time? Like you don't have to give any names or anything, but like any what point are we at right now?
Person who's going to be building it got his blast furnace to start working on it. There's going to be an exchange. I just imported 2 suppressors from the Czech Republic, and I did that, and it's going to be working on the SDG.
Weren't those the ones you asked me to like go to Florida to be with you when you got them?
Yes. I asked Justin to come join me as well, and he's like, no.
I was busy. I told you I could have done it Sunday. I couldn't do it that Friday.
Just so you know, man, this is the 2nd time now that you've asked me to go with you to go do something gun related, and then you never fucking get back to me. Next time you ask me, it's an automatic fucking no. Stop bothering me with this shit. This is the 2nd fucking time in 3 months you've done this. The first time it was like, hey, let's go to Missouri. I have to go do this thing. I never fucking heard back from you.
Has he
about
asked
it.
you to go to like Czechoslovakia or whatever?
No, he never asked me to leave the country yet. I know he asked Peaches to leave the fucking country with him, and I'm sitting there thinking he's never
already
gonna
out of the
do this.
country.
Like, oh my god, you fucking pissed me off so goddamn much. I hate you.
Yeah, I'm not leaving the country. I'm not doing that. I'm telling you that right now.
So is that what you do? Do you flip do you make profit off of just selling guns and whatnot? Is that what you do?
I do it as a passion side project, and I make a couple bucks off of it. It's really inconsequential with regards to what I do financially, but I don't know, if I make some spending money, I'm happy, but I do it for the sake because I like it.
Do it for the love of the craft.
One of the things I've been working on is probably a 50-50, maybe 60% chance that it goes through. I've been in talks. I've been on a Ukrainian sleep schedule because I've been trying to get a hold of the Ministry of Defense or the Foreign Ministry to. Yes, I see those looks.
It's just funny to
send,
hear
like-
you say it because I know you.
Yeah.
You guys are serious, but what the fuck? I can't think of anyone who's like, oh no, this conflict in Ukraine is so bad. What can I do? Some people are like, donate to the Red Cross. There's not much we can do. It sucks. Then you're like, I'm gonna get him a gun.
See the Crazy Rabbit
oh,
YouTube channel? We're helping Ukraine.
I legitimately I sent emails to the embassy. I sent emails to the Ministry of Defense. I sent emails to the Foreign Ministry. I called a charity that was giving out body armor to the army, and I basically said, I'll give you 10,000 AR-15s at cost. And you guys, I don't want any profit from it. I will, I'll do it all as I'll donate my time, and you guys can get.
Maybe we get a little
rifles.
profit. Maybe we get a
For
little
a good
profit.
cause too.
No, fuck the good
Fuck
cause. We get a
communism.
little profit. A little
Well,
profit.
If the country survives, then maybe they can put me on their priority buyer
Hall of
list.
Fame.
That'd be nice.
There's a
Ukrainian Hall of Fame.
There's a statue of Manlight, some random Ukrainian village.
Who is that? Oh, that
Getting
is our
Ukrainian
savior.
citizenship.
That is Manlit.
How the hell did the Ukrainians become Mexican?
He bless us with many rifles. Shut the. I don't know how to do a Ukrainian accent.
Many rifles, they say.
Many rifles, Holmes. That is Manlit here. Bless us. AR-15s rain down from the
To the
sky.
Ukrainian people, I am very sorry. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I know exactly what you guys sound like Hispanic maids here. I know exactly how you guys sound.
Suela.
Yeah.
No.
The Russians should be very afraid. They've released the Chernobyl men.
They're Chernobyl, man.
So how do you think this is all going to end for Russia, though? Also, I got to log off in like 5-10 minutes here, but
we can
I want to hear
this.
I want to hear how. What do you think? How do you think this whole? I think it's going to end for Russia. Like just predicting.
I think eventually their citizens are gonna get pissed off enough. There's gonna start to be some like once they run out of like food and can't fucking start eating and shit. I feel like the citizens are gonna start to rise up, and then he's gonna have to use force on that, and it's just gonna either escalate or de-escalate from there. But I definitely do see like the citizens stepping up at some point in time.
They definitely have to, not like for any real action to be taken over there
It's
in that part.
all right. Real talk. It is a very sad situation. Obviously, we stand with Ukraine on this. It's a shitty thing overall. Hopefully, it does end, very soon. That way, there's not losses on both sides. Obviously, the people of Russia don't want this to be happening either. They're all getting fucked over by this. I don't know. Hopefully, it's just all over soon. Things don't continue hitting the fan, and life goes on very smoothly shortly.
Yeah, you'd think. Unless the whole Putin fucking theory you had earlier ends up being true, where he's on his way out and he's just like, I'm taking y'all with me.
It's the button.
Is really the most unrealistic thing you've heard? If Hitler had the arsenal that Russia has,
Yeah.
is there any question that he would have turned Europe and the United States into glass?
He would have 100% turned, I think, Russia. I think he would have used it on Russia more than
He
would have
hated
thought
communism
about
more
Europe.
than anything.
Yeah.
He hated communism like as badly as anyone.
I can see him
He
using
wanted
him
to
on
eliminate
Russia,
the East.
but the Europe, I think he would have used it as a deterrent and maybe try to go for peace there. But I definitely see him using it on Russia.
Yeah, you give a guy like that any power. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna end for Russia, but it doesn't seem well. Like, because no matter what, like, I mean, their economy's not gonna be irrevocably fucked, right? It'll eventually bounce back, but you gotta think, for the average person there, man, like they're just kind of fucked. Like the average everyday person is just getting railed.
So Russia's economy is only the size of the equivalent of, I believe, California.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's like $1.6 trillion as their GDP. The vast majority of that comes from gas exports, natural gas and oil and other related products.
Which Trump said we should stop depending on. By the way, he did say that before this all happened, but no one likes to hear that.
Russia has turned itself in the last 2 weeks with this gamble gone wrong into an international pariah. I don't know that I've ever seen in probably the last 30 years a international regard. It doesn't matter if you're the most MAGA or the most liberal or the most if you're a Tory or a conservative in Britain. Everybody kind of seems unified that fuck Putin.
You know you're done fucked up when Switzerland is like,
they're joining in on the sanctions.
we're not gonna be neutral anymore.
Nazi gold. They literally had gold that was extracted from.
They got Jewish teeth
prisoners.
in there, man.
There's just no one coming to Russia's aid. Like, no
Even
one's
China
on their
isn't.
fucking side. Like, even the Nazis had, like, we got Japan.
Imagine
They have similar
China.
interests. We have Italy. They have similar interests.
Imagine even China releases like an official letter, like saying Russia is doing bad things. Don't do Russia things.
Yeah,
It's
the
like,
same people who are
whoa.
genociding Uyghurs is like, Russia's, you're kind of fucked up.
China actually did release a statement saying that every country's sovereignty should be respected, but it's a very, how shall I say?
Lightly. They're like, let's just barely touch this.
No, it's a very smart move on their part because they don't consider Taiwan another country.
They don't.
So in their eyes,
Yeah.
if they ever took Taiwan back, they're just going after a rogue portion of territory. But regardless, I think Russia's gonna get bogged down in a quagmire where they'll probably grind Ukraine down militarily in a conventional battle, but they'll lose. It'll be unsustainable in a guerrilla campaign, and I don't see Putin being able to recover long term, because even if they occupy and they have to make some sort of peace, he's still going to be sanctioned into the ground. I mean, Visa, MasterCard, all those banks, they're disconnected from SWIFT. You got Shell, all the oil companies
Fucking
pulling
Apple.
out of. They shut down Xbox. Microsoft shut
I
down.
think Steam
Xbox
did the
Live.
same thing.
The
Or CSGO, wasn't like some huge Russian game is no longer available there now too.
There's just a lot of games that took down their servers semi-permanently from in Russia.
Pretty
They're
funny.
like, yeah, you'll get this back when everything's over. And like esports leagues are actually opening up lawsuits against organizations saying like, that's not fair. We're not involved in this, but you just took away the income of like all of these players. And it's like, yeah, sorry, want to do something about it? Overthrow your government.
Yeah, that's the incentive.
Yeah, like that
but-
really is. It's like Disney movies don't come out over there. Warner Brothers doesn't come out over there. One last quick thing I think that you'll all like to hear. Russia is actually considering legalizing pirating movies now.
Oh.
Because there's
You know
no
what?
way
I'm on
that
Russia's
people there
side
can
now. They convinced me.
I'm going to move there right now.
But the reason is that entertainment companies are no longer giving products to Russia. Like Disney's not releasing movies there anymore. Warner Brothers isn't releasing anything. Like all these big companies are no longer releasing any content in Russia. And so Russia's like, you know what? Fine, piracy's legal. Fuck it. And it's like,
All right. Okay.
well,
it's 15
But-
years in prison for actually reporting on the war.
Well, and so like that's the other thing. It's like, okay, so Russia's also very like propaganda style. So it's like imagine Russia comes out on top here, but they've legalized piracy. But now they're gonna start checking on what you're pirating to make sure that you're not pirating anything that goes against what they stand for. And so all of a sudden you have this moderated legalized piracy where the Russian government is stealing content to give to people, but it's only letting them steal the content that they deem is okay.
Pretty much kind of what China's doing at this point.
It's like a parent that needs control no matter fucking what, and they will never let go, and they just need control of you forever. But I'm surprised China, because like I was thinking about it, if there ever was, it's not smart for them to get involved. Don't get me wrong, it would be stupid. But if there ever was a time to get involved and potentially, take advantage of the situation, hop on Russia's side, take Taiwan, maybe like Hong Kong, whatever else they
I
aspire
don't think
to
they
take.
could take. I think it would be a real bloodbath if they try to take Taiwan.
I know. I'm not thinking logistics. I'm just thinking like, what other opportunity? Like, there's not going to be another. There's not going to be a better opportunity, I guess is what I'm saying, than right now for them. So if they really wanted to do those things, which they clearly don't care enough. But if they did, like, they would do it now, right?
Tim is sitting over there going like, listen, I'm just saying if I was in charge of China, this is what we'd be doing.
Just saying if I were a vicious dictator who had no moral compass and I wanted the things that I haven't been able to get my hands on for decades now, and Russia's over there making noise trying to take whatever they want.
So let's just maybe sneak in here.
And even though China and Russia aren't as like-minded as they used to be, we still are very similar in a lot of ways. We could be allies. We could be homies.
Trump Pact 2.0 between China and Russia.
That would be a lot more scary, though, I think. It's that headline, like China and Russia teams up and tries to murder the world.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If we're here next week, that means the world didn't end due to any nuclear explosions yet.
Damn.
Putin, if you're watching, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, right here, Putin.
Take one of these. Take two.
Yeah.
Your head looks like an egg, but like, soft boiled.
Yeah. I could beat you in a fight.
And he has Parkinson's too.
You all are gonna get invites to a tea party.
What is Parkinson's?
Yeah. I'm gonna throw that tea in the harbor.
Tea back, shoot it with another shot of whiskey, and then I'm gonna blow my brains out.
No, he's famous for poisoning his rival with plutonium in his tea.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna be glowing when I'm dead.
Yeah. It's still not gonna stop me from kicking his ass. Parkinson's having 69-year-old or whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah, so
and that was episode whatever that is.
Yeah, something.
It's a brain disorder that leads to shaking, stiffness, and difficulty with walking, balance, and coordination. And that's the guy who has access to
Let's not blame this all on Parkinson's.
Yeah, I mean, fuck Putin up.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming it on Parkinson's.
No. You got nice people like Michael J. Fox, and then you got Putin, who's, off his rockers making nuclear threats.
Yeah, hopefully we don't die before the next podcast.
Hopefully.
We'll be broadcasting on Fallout Radio.
Check out Tim. Links in the description. We'll be back. That's it. That's all. Gamer subs, code crazy. They got a bunch of new stuff. That's it. Bye.